Tonight's game is sponsored in part by the Antelope Valley area Burger King restaurants. Flame broiled your way. And now, from College of the Canyons in Canyon Country, California, here are Bob McEwen, Brian Golden, and Larry Thornhill.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob McEwen along with Larry Thornhill and Brian Golden, and we're moments away from the opening kickoff here at College of the Canyons tonight for the Division number 2 CIF Football Championship. Before we talk to these two guys, we're going to talk to the head football coach at AV High, Brent Newcomb, that we had a chance to talk to this week about this big game. He's been here before. This guy has some championships under his belt. We're going to have to find out a way of stopping the Hart Indians tonight is one of his big concerns. I talked to the veteran coach the other day to find out exactly how he's going to go about this thing. This is what the veteran coach had to say.
They have multiple offensive attack, and you got to cover a lot of things. You know, they're excellent with the pass, and then if you over defense the pass, and they got the big back that can run the ball. So. It's a guessing game. We worked real hard on it. And of course, you can't cover everything. We just kind of hope that our guys will play up and, you know, maybe the ball bounce our way.
During the summer passing league and in the weight room getting ready for the season, did you ever look around at all of the talent that you had and think of a CIF championship?
I did last year. You know, I thought we should have been in the finals last year. We kind of blew the game with Mater Dei that was here. And of course, you know, Mater Dei got crunched by Eisenhower, but I knew the talent was there, and we started talking about it last spring in May, and it carried over into the summer and carried to the Golden League, and here we are. We're playing the #1 team, and it couldn't happen any better time.
Well, nobody has to tell you how outstanding this AV High football team is this year. After winning the first 2 ball games, they ran up against perennial powers in Bakersfield and Loyola. After that, they stormed through everybody to make it to this championship game. On the other hand, the Hart Indians haven't lost to anybody this year. We're going to find out now about setting the stage for this game here tonight and find out the views from both Brian and Larry on the two teams. First off, talking about the Antelopes. Larry, you've seen the Lopes all year long. You know how they run the ball, how they have great defense. What about the lacking of the passing game? What will that do tonight?
Well, they really haven't had a test. It was Burroughs of Ridgecrest of Burroughs last time they really had a close ball game. Since then, they've been rolling over everybody, and it's been Jermaine Lewis and Tremone Reddick doing all the running. But the defense is important, too. You know, you don't have a passing game like you say, but this defense has completely shut down the offenses of the opposing teams since that Burroughs game.
I think there's any chance it could be coaching against the other coach might win this ball game late.
Brent Newcomb's been to the championship game before. The other coach has not, so who knows?
You dare to venture a guess how this game's going to come out tonight?
It's going to be close all the way.
Okay, thanks. Brian, you know the Hart Indians inside and out, every facet of their ball game. They run like the Antelopes, but also they can pass.
They've got an offense, Bob, that might be at home at Magic Mountain across the way here. It is a real E-ticket. They have tremendous balance, and the key factor is their junior tailback, Teddy Iacenda, 6'1", 215 pounds. And if he was in college now, he'd be declaring eligibility early to go to the next level, and that's how good he is. 40 touchdowns this season. And it's the type of offense that typically you'd like to keep the ball away from them, make big plays. But last week they had a couple of touchdown drives against Quartz Hill that consisted of 2 or fewer plays. So a lot like Penn State at the collegiate level. Can they stop this Hart offense? Brent Newcomb, the last thing he said leaving the practice field last night was they got to run the ball and keep them off the field. That may be Antelope Valley's only hope to win tonight.
You have a prediction?
I got a funny feeling that the Lopes are going to make up for 86 and win tonight because speed kills. And I don't think Hart's seen anybody as quick as the Antelopes this year.
There you've heard it from the experts. I, by the way, picked the Lopes to win this one in a California tiebreaker. So we're going to be back with the opening kickoff after these very important messages, so don't you leave us.
3 and KAVL Radio from College of the Canyons. And pass on our condolences to Henry Schindel, my partner for the last 10 years here in the broadcast booth. A tragedy happened over the last week, and losing his wife to a long bout with cancer, and Henry and the family of Christy back in the Antelope Valley, we give our condolences, and our thoughts certainly are with you here tonight. And I know Henry is going to miss the ball game, but Henry, stay in there and hang in there strong, bud. We're with you. Brian, a big one. We talked about it on the radio side in the pregame. A big one for the TV fans as well. It's going to be noisy here, isn't it?
It's going to be a crowd of close to 9,000 at Cougar Stadium, Larry. And already the coin flip will get right to the whole question of this game. Antelope Valley will kick off and play defense, and we'll see how they do against that, so far, at least to this point, unstoppable double slot offense, run and shoot offense of the Hart Indians.
Antelope Valley going from right to left on your radio dial. Chad Shrout to kick it off. Antelopes on the sideline ready for this one. Not a very cool night at all. Maybe down towards the 40s. I don't think it's quite that cool yet. Waddell and Nelson go back deep to receive the kick from Shrout on a very, very dry football field. And the crowd is up for this one, and here we go. Kick will go to Waddell. Now Nelson will take it at the 5. Nelson to the 10. Straight up the middle he goes. 15. Down to the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the potent Hart offense. Price with a stop for AV.
Lopes want to set a physical tone for this football game, Larry, and boy, right down on the field that time, we saw Michael Price immediately greeting C.J. Nelson and trying to set a physical tone here early in a football game. Interesting now, we watched the sideline huddle by the Hart Indians with Coach Mike Harrington.
What about this big running back?
Teddy Iacinda, one of the great backs we've ever seen, I think, in high school football over the last 10 years, and stopping him, obviously, is pivotal for Antelope Valley.
Quarterback McKeon. Iacinda is the single back behind him. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Nelson will go in motion. McKeon's going to throw. Steps back, takes some time. Now he's going to take the ball and run with it. Across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Gain of 6. Make it a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5. Good coverage by AV.
There's the quickness of the Lopes. There's the motion to create the odd man on this formation on the far side of the field, and McKeon has to pull it away and run because of the quickness of the Lopes in coverage downfield.
2nd down and 5 from the Indian 25-yard line. Iacinda will go in motion. Now nobody behind McKeon. He's going to look to throw. He's going to dump it off to Iacinda on the far side. He gets to the 29-yard line. He'll be a little short of a 1st down. Make up 3rd and 1. Chad Murphy and Justin Reiner with the stop.
Larry, this is the play that they broke for a 48-yard touchdown last week on the first play of the game against the Quartz Hill Rebels. Iacinda in motion to get him away from the bulk of the defense. But watch how quickly the Lopes come up. You see Chad Murphy up there around the ankles, and then the finishing touch on the pursuit for the Lopes.
And no huddle offense at 3rd and less than a yard. Iacinda single back behind McKeon. They need to get a 1st down. McKeon will keep the sneak, and he'll get the 1st down across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. So Hart gets the first down of the evening.
You know, Larry, Mike Espy, the center, number 55, is the midget of this group, 6 foot, 220. That's the center. The guards are Paul Walters, number 71, 6'5" and 280. And Ryan Shinley, number 72, he's 6'3" and 280. Then we'll get to the tackles, so once we get a long enough measuring stick.
Iacinda is single back at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Indians. Here come the Lopes on a blitz. Gets off to Iacinda, has the ball. He's got a big hole on the outside. 40, 45, down to the 50, across inside AV territory at the 49. The blitz went right past Iacinda, who had the ball, took it up the middle.
This is one of the things the Lopes have to avoid, Larry. They have to wrap up. They have to tackle. They got to be good fundamentally. Chad Shrout went for the quarterback, and there's the umpire doing the Lopes a favor, holding up Iacinda. He still picks up 19 yards, and they're in Antelope Valley territory at the 48.
1st and 10 on the 40, make it the 48-yard line in AV territory. McKeon, the quarterback, barking out the signal at the line of scrimmage. Iacinda will go in motion. McKeon will look to throw. They'll dump it off to the wide receiver. A little flea flicker, not going anywhere, and AV covers up nicely. McCabe with the stop.
A pitch pass was what they were trying to run with Chris McCabe as he ran a hitch and took a lateral from Steve McKeon. But how about the quickness of number 55, Chad Shrout, flowing from the interior tackle spot into the flat. Watch it again. He was over the football. Shrout gets out there. Good coverage downfield and a loss of 4.
Loss of 4 on the play. Takes it back to the 47-yard line. Now back inside Indian territory. 2nd down and 14. I guess AV, you've seen that one on the films somewhere along the line. Iacinda once again, single back, 3 wide receivers to the far side. McKeon will drop back and look to throw. Steps up, still looking, puts the ball downfield. Got a man open down to number 35, incomplete at the 15-yard line. That time way down there was Jeremy Seipel. Murphy with the coverage, but Seipel had a couple yards on him.
Chad Murphy had windburn from Jeremy Seipel going right past him, and Chad's lucky that this ball hung up. On the television replay, we're going to see basically face guards the receiver, and luckily the ball is just out of reach of Seipel. That could have been a big play, but again, the quickness of Murphy to make a mistake and compensate and get back to where the football came down.
Now, very important 3rd down play for Antelope Valley here, and a 3rd down and 14. They will go to the shotgun from their own 47. Hart has the ball. 4 wide receivers in there. McKeon going to roll out, looking downfield. He's got some time, gets the ball away. It's got a man open, incomplete. just a little overthrown that time. The intended receiver was number 80, McCabe, and the Hart Indians will have to punt the ball away.
Good coverage by the Lopes as they were in the nickelback situation there with Tony Walker and Corey Oggs both on the receiver coming across the field. And the sophomore retreats to get this punt, Larry.
Tony Walker, Brent Newcomb calls him the best athlete he's seen at AV in a long, long time. He will stand back at the 15-yard line. McLaughlin will punt away for the Hart Indians. Plenty of time, not much of a rush at all. Hits the side of his foot.
Not much of a punt either.
And it'll go out of bounds. Actually, yep, it'll finally roll dead around the 30, make it the 29-yard line. AV 1st and 10 on their own 29. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to kick it away from Tony Walker, but not that far away.
23-yard punt. He's trying to pooch it out of bounds. What does that tell you about Hart's respect for the Antelope sophomore, who, by the way, still lists basketball as his favorite sport, to not get the football in his hands?
Tremone Reddick, the quarterback. Jermaine Lewis in the backfield. Justin Reiner is the fullback. Tony Walker, one wide receiver. They start 1st and 10 at their 29. Single back now will be just Jermaine Lewis. Reddick's going to throw right away over to Reiner. Incomplete off his fingertips. A little high, but Justin should have hung on to it. I should say it's Chad Murphy. No good. 2nd down and 10.
That would be interesting, Larry. The chart, as you watch the replay, Reddick a little high for Murphy, and he gets drilled by the linebacker flowing over on that play. Or the quarterback, I'm sorry, number 37, Todd Renfro. But the Lopes obviously going away from their tendencies and throwing the ball on 1st down. When's the last time they did that?
A little surprise there for the folks on the Hart coaching staff. They go back to Reiner now as the fullback, tailback Lewis. On a 2nd and 10, Jermaine's got the ball. He's got a hold. Jermaine Lewis spins around down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 6 will bring up a 3rd down and 4.
You know, the Lopes have got some beef up front on the left side of that line, mainly in tackle Mike Deegan, number 74. 6'3", 257 pounds. And the right tackle, pretty nice bookend, David Dilger, 6'1" at 250. Jermaine Lewis, the type of back to get him a crack, and then he reads his blocks awfully well. 8
minutes left to go in the 1st quarter. No score tonight. The championship game of Division number 2.
Here's a guy we'll see a lot from on television tonight, Tremone Reddick, who run the football on the option tonight.
He's the quarterback on a 3rd down and 4. And now Jermaine Lewis and Tremone Reddick will have to call a timeout as they're not quite sure what they want to do. When you get down to these kind of games, Brian, you don't want to make mistakes.
Hart had their 2 safeties cheat up to the line of scrimmage, Larry, right as Tremone was getting ready to snap the football, creating 8 men in the box, and obviously the Lopes are going to try to run that football between the tackles, so they'll go to the far sideline and talk it over with Coach Brent Newcomb. Nice crowd. The Lopes have filled up their side of the field, the Lopes fans. Lancaster ought to be proud of its support of the sons of the Antelope Valley tonight in this championship game.
Near side, the College of the Canyons home side filled up from the Hart Indians as well. A big night of football here in Santa Clarita.
Interesting color to the field, Larry. Folks on television will see it. It looks as though we've had the nuclear winter early here in Santa Clarita. But, you know, this game really is kind of a celebration of the resolve of all of us in the 805 area code, because this place could shoot up pretty good by the Northridge earthquake. And I think a lot of people, if you had told them back on January 17th that there'd be 9,000 people here on December 9th to watch 2 great programs from the neighborhood play each other, they would have been astounded. But this really is symbolic of the resolve of all of us to defeat that earthquake.
You said they didn't reopen this thing till almost November, from what you're saying, right?
They sure did. It kind of looks like the Earth from orbit. A couple of green patches, and then the rest of the stuff, I'll leave it to your imagination.
3rd down and 4. Reddick takes a snap. He's going to roll out and keep the ball himself, looking for 4 yards. It's going to be tough. He's got the 4. He's got to cross the 40, 45, 50 midfield. He's inside Hart territory, still on his feet. Out of bounds he goes at the 34-yard line.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, Larry, but Tremone Reddick is the X factor for the Lopes offense, because at 6'1", 215 pounds, there he gets Jermaine Lewis out front blocking, and watch him turn on the speed to the corner. Breaks 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5 tackles, and finally Tim Waddell gets him out of bounds. 31 yards for the Lopes, and they're down to the 34-yard line.
But at 1st and 10 now, Indian 34-yard line, and Brent Newcomb having a little conversation on the far side with the referee. I don't know what they're trying to talk about. Brent's pointing out about 5 yards back, but Brent got the spot at the 34. Conversation over. Damon Williams comes on the field at wide receiver. And a 1st and 10 for Antelope Valley at the 34 of Hart. No score, but AV on the move. Reiner now will come over, be a slot on the near side. Jermaine Lewis single back. 3 wide receivers on the near side, but Lewis will get the ball. Jermaine Lewis to the 30 to the 29-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. It's so much easier when you get 5 in the first.
Nice block down by the right guard, Caleb Smith, number 52, 6'4". You see Louis Perez pull left to right and led into the hole for Lewis, and it's 2nd and 5.
2nd down and 5, 7 minutes left to go here in the first quarter of play. Championship game, no score from College of the Canyons. Reiner will now set up as a slot to the far side. Lewis is the single back again. He's 6 yards behind Reddick. He will get the ball, looking for somewhere to go, and there is nowhere to go. He's going to lose 3 yards. Saigo with a stop, and that'll make up a 3rd down and long.
We saw Jeremy Seipel, one of the outside backers for the Indians, have a tremendous game defensively last week. And there on the television replay, you see Seipel knife through, beats the block, and drops Jermaine Lewis. Rarely this year has number 23 been thrown for a loss, Larry, but great pursuit there by the linebacker for the Indians.
Look a little slow getting underway, that play did. 3rd down and 7 now. Ball pushed back to just about the 32-yard line. A big play coming up here for Antelope Valley.
Isn't this interesting? Teddy Iacenda, their star running back, is now playing an inside linebacker position.
Single back is Reiner now. Reddick's going to throw. Looking downfield, gets the ball away. Now he's going to have to tuck it under his wing and run with it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and back to the original line of scrimmage to the 29, but that'll be it. It'll be 4th down and about 5. Reddick tried to do something a little fancy that time, but it didn't set up properly.
4th and a long 3, or maybe 4th and 4 here now, Larry, at the 28-yard line. And this is the nice luxury you have with Chad Shroud setting up for a 45-yard field goal attempt right between the hash marks.
Walker will hold. This will be a 45-yarder. Shroud straight on. No wind to speak of. The kick is up. And it is good. Chad Shroud scores first. And Brian, as you know, throughout the season, Shroud has not been that consistent. And they were a little worried about it, but here he comes out and hits a 45-yarder right off the bat.
Larry, he's got a pretty good split-finger fastball that comes off his toe right here. Hart got great penetration. Television replay will show it here on the left of the screen. You see the leap, and I wondered if he might have got a piece of that football, but Shroud just overpowered it. And it was kind of a 90-mile-an-hour knuckleball, but it found its way over the crossbar. And importantly, Larry, the Lopes score first on the road.
Chad Shroud with a 45-yard field goal puts AV on top by a score of 3-0 with 5:29 left to go in the first quarter. And you're right, Brian, that was a knuckleball. They never got about 12 feet off the ground.
You know, Tony Walker is probably can dunk basketballs from higher off the ground than that field goal across the upright, but they all count for 3 points.
Nelson and Waldell will go back deep to receive the kick from Shroud. And Hart will get the ball back. Waddell will take the ball at about the 2-yard line. Gets to the 10, 15, to the outside, down to the 21-yard line, maybe 22, and the Indians will take over there 1st and 10. First set of offensive downs, Brian, they went to the pass quite a bit. The timing was a little off. What do they go with now? Stay with it.
C.J. Nelson, coming off the field there on the television, and a nice play. Charles Pierce downfield. Another key for the Lopes, Larry, special teams play. Make the Indians play on the long field, something Quartz Hill didn't do last week.
From their own 21-yard line. Iacenda, the single back behind McKeon, quarterback. McKeon is the 5th-ranked quarterback in the southern section, and they show blitz all over. McKeon rolls out, and he's in trouble. McKeon's going to go down. Oh, it's intercepted, almost picked off by Westberg. Had it in his hands at the 10 as McKeon tried to dump it off. Westberg had it in his hands, and he would have walked 10 yards into the end zone.
Again, Larry, this is a classic case of not understanding the speed of the Lopes' pursuit. Watch Justin Rainier. Television viewers will see this. Rainier shoots the gap. I think McKeon thinks he has extra time. By the way, Rainier got away with a face mask there. And Jared Westberg is thinking, that's 6.
An incomplete pass will make it 2nd and 10 from the Indian 21. The ball on the reverse. Waddell will take the ball. He's got a first down across the 30, 35, down to the 38-yard line, and the Indian first down. Chad Murphy with the stop.
Well, classic textbook football there. The best way to slow up speedy upfield pursuers is to run misdirections counters. And there you see the handoff to the inside wingman, Waddell. He made some big plays against Quartz Hill. A lot of weapons for Steve McKeon to choose from. 17-yard pickup right there for Tim Waddell.
Indians continue to call the play at the line of scrimmage. On a 1st and 10 now at their own 38-yard line. McKeon is going to roll out to throw again. Here they come one more time. McKeon steps up, gets into the pocket. Now he's going to dump away, gets the ball away, and it's caught at the 48-yard line, close to another first down. McCabe with the catch.
Nice job by Chris McCabe to come back to a quarterback in trouble, and nice mobility by Steve McKeon to avoid the rush here. Just see the Lopes, Charlie Pierce blitzing off the left corner. Nice play by McKeon to get away. Corey Oggs on the coverage and the tackle.
Threw it just about the only place he could throw it, low to the ground so McCabe could pick it off. A 9-yard pass play. Well, they're going to give him 10, make it 1st and 10 at the 48. Now the ball will go. Now McKeon's going to throw again, steps up, looking downfield, has a whole bunch of time, gets the ball away, picked off. It's picked off by Reiner, and he goes out of bounds at the 43-yard line. AV gets the ball.
Give an assist to Jared Westberg, the defensive end, who again got in Steve McKeon's face. And again, I think they are just unused to the closing speed, the alacrity, the lightning of these Lopes. Watch McKeon again on television, rolling on the near side, pretty leisurely to throw his ball up. And then there's Reiner, and boy, the Lopes close on a passed football about as well as anybody in the southern section.
Last couple times, McKeon has had a whole bunch of time to throw. That time he had so much time, didn't have any much choice but to throw it into a group of people, and unfortunately for him, Reiner picks it off. 1st and 10 for Reddick. Reddick gives it back to Justin Reiner. Why not? He gets across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Gain of about 7, 2nd down and 3.
That is all Justin Reiner, 6 foot, 192-pounder. Larry, here's the thing. Not only does he have the lightning, but he packs the thunder at 192 pounds as well. See the first contact on the belly, bounces off outside, and then the quick first step to get across the midfield stripe.
2nd down and 3. 3:15 left to go. Clock running in the first quarter. AV on top, 3-0 in this Division II championship game. Reiner will come now, be the slot on the near side. Single back Lewis on a 2nd and short. Reddick will give it to Lewis. He's trying to get that first down. Spins away from one man. He might get another yard, a tough yard, but it'll still be 3rd down and 1.
Nice play by the leading tackler on this Hart defense, Mark Zimmerman, the inside linebacker, number 54. Jermaine Lewis, a guy who really trades on his elusiveness, Larry, and Mark Zimmerman did not let him get away when he tried to put the reverse pivot on him. We've seen him on the Game of the Week on Jones Intercable and KAVL break that play for an 80-yard touchdown a couple of times.
From the Indian 48-yard line, they need about 1 yard. AV looking for the first down. And they'll stack it up full house in the backfield. They'll add Ken Nelson to it back there. Lewis will get the ball and a first down. Jermaine trips over the 45 to the 42. First down. That's a tough full house backfield, Brian, when they do that. When they add Ken Nelson back there, that's a lot of beef.
You got to give an assist on this play. The fullback, watch the block by Reiner as he leads here. Takes out 2 players, and again, Kenny Nelson also tied up a couple of Indians on that side. Kenny Nelson, a very talented player, and they have trouble finding him playing time in this backfield because there's just so many sprinters back there.
You give him the ball, you're not losing all that much when Lewis doesn't have it, and you give it to Ken Nelson, no doubt about it. 1st and 10 from the 41. Make it the 42 in Indian territory. Reddick will give it off to Lewis straight ahead this time. Jermaine's off to the races. Outside 30. Jermaine's got a foot race. 20 to the 15. Jermaine still on his feet. Trips out of bounds at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10.
Well, they hit you with the thunder, and now here comes the lightning in the form of Jermaine Lewis. You know, Jermaine Lewis, the first half of the season, Larry, said that he really felt prey to the pressure of the expectations. Watch a simple inside handoff, and then bang, outside, and look how quickly he covered those 5 yards when he got some room to the outside, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Lopes just at about the Hart 8-yard line.
Now I've actually put it at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 29-yard run, 1st and 10 from there. Single back will be Reiner. Now Lewis will go into the slot. Justin will get the ball straight ahead. He goes towards the 10. He might get there. A gain of 2 or 3, 2nd down and 7. So many weapons and all on the ground, Brian.
Ian Ressler slanting from the defensive end spot, number 51, getting good penetration to bottle this play up. You know, Hart's defense, basically, you've got to get somebody to delay the ball carrier, Larry, and then get that, you know, the cavalry coming over the ridge with reinforcements, because if the Lopes can break contain at the line of scrimmage, they've got the speed to make a big play go all the way.
Line it back up in the eye on a 2nd down and a long 7. From the Indian 10, Reddick will keep it on the option. Now he pitches it out to Lewis. Lewis gets around the corner to the 5, touchdown! Oh, the pitch was almost picked off by the Indians. Lewis hung on to it, takes it in the end zone.
Todd Renfro saw a touchdown, but he didn't see a Lopes touchdown. But watch this. Here's the pitch. Whoops, Jermaine Lewis picks it off down the sideline, takes somebody on at the goal line. That's another thing Jermaine Lewis will do to be deceptive, Larry. He will play the physical game as well as the speed game.
57-yard drive capped off by that 10-yard run on the option play from Reddick to Lewis. And Chad Shrout will try to put him up by 10 here in the first quarter. Snap is down, kick is up. Shrout's got another one, 1:03 left to go in this first quarter of play. Brian, 10-0 AV. And Canyon doesn't know what to say. I mean, I should say Hart doesn't know what to say. We'll come back and talk about that in a minute. We'll take a break. We'll come back. AV on top, 10-zip. Waddell and Nelson go back to receive the kick. And Shrout will step back to kick it off. AV up by a score of 10-0. And Shrout puts it all the way into the end zone. So the Indians, they go 1st and 10 at their own 20. That's the world's longest commercial. Back 1st and 10, the Hart Indians will take over at their own 20-yard line. Larry Thornhill along with Brian Golden and Rob DeJay, Bob McEwen down the field. At College of the Canyons, Division II championship playoff game.
And this crowd of, most of this crowd, of course, being Hart, probably 6,000 or 7,000 people, absolutely hushed to see their lads down 10-zip. When's the last time this happened?
Highest into the single back. McKeon is the quarterback. Waddell in motion now will go to the far side. McKeon will give it out. See it. He fumbles the ball.
And the Lopes have it.
And AV's got the ball at the 15.
Caleb Smith with the recovery after Ted Iacenda just took his eye off the handoff from Steve McKeon. And then Caleb Smith out-muscled the franchise player of the Indians. Watch it again on television. There's the draw. Never got the football and didn't make much of an effort to go after the fumble either. Oh, Lopes here with a chance to get that dagger out. 1st and 10 at the Hart 15-yard line.
And they like to strike back when they get a situation like this to see what they do. Single back is Lewis from the Hart 15. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Reddick will give it to Lewis. Not much there. He'll get to the 14, and that's it. 2nd down and 9.
Nice penetration again, slanting the defensive tackle, Sean Keys, number 63. 5'11", 255-pound junior for the Indians. Now it's gut check time for the Hart defense, Larry, because they cannot permit the Lopes to turn this into 7.
26 seconds left to go, and clock runs here in the first quarter. AV up 10-0. And looking to take advantage of a major turnover here early in this ball game. 2nd turnover of the night so far for the Hart Indians. Reddick takes a snap. He'll give it to Lewis again. This time Lewis behind Reiner. Spins for maybe another yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and long, maybe 3rd and 8 when we come back. We'll end the first quarter of play, though. We'll change sides of the field. We come back with 2nd quarter action. It's AV up by a score of 10-0. We'll be right back. 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and a long 9. Long 8, I should say. They go back to the I. Reiner will be the fullback, tailback Jermaine Lewis. AV recovering the fumble on the 15, trying to get some more points on this one on a 3rd and long 9 now. Reddick will roll out on the option. He'll keep the ball himself. Reddick's got to turn the corner. He does not go. He gets to about the 11-yard line, gain of 3 more. And now you got a 4th and long, and you bring Chad Shrout back out.
A slow developing play there with Tremont Reddick. I think he was looking. He had Corey Oggs and Kenny Nelson on that side of the field, and I think there was supposed to be a sprint out pass. Good defense by Hart. Well, that's a big play on defense for the home team.
This will be a 28-yard field goal attempt for Shrout. He hit a 45 earlier. This will be a 28-er. Kick is down, looks high enough. Oh, he's perfect so far tonight. 2 field goals and an extra point. This one of 28 yards. And Brian Hart's down 13-0 with 11:24 left to go in his first half.
Key thing about this game is, for a great offensive team like Hart, when they give you the football, you really have to stab them in the heart with it. And that's what the Lopes have done. They would have liked to get 6 there, Larry. But again, and they're making plays all over the field. That was a simple effort play that Caleb Smith took the football away. You know, Teddy Ascenda fumbled the ball. He made absolutely no effort to go after his own fumble, and Smith wanted the ball more.
That might be the key, Brian. And did not enough effort there. Are they a little lack of motivation right here happening? Or?
Well, this is interesting, Larry. When you have two teams that have rarely faced adversity like this, what do you do when the fire alarms and the air raid sirens start going off? Clearly, they're going off for the Hart Indians now, and it's time for this great offense or this great special teams to come up with a big play, or the hemorrhaging could just get worse.
Nelson and Waddell back deep to receive. Another kick from Trout. Last time he put it in the end zone.
But what a weapon Chad Trout is.
Trout will kick it shorter this time. And Nelson will take it in the end zone and not come out with it. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 20-yard line.
Larry, look at the game plan for Brent Newcomb's Antelopes tonight. Do not turn the ball over, run the ball effectively, create turnovers, and make the Indians run, move on the long field. Their starting field position, they've yet to have the football across their own 25-yard line.
Antelope Valley with 101 yards offense, only 49 for the Indians in that first quarter.
Here's George Fetters and the Brain Trust, Brent Newcomb, Sam Viana, the defensive coordinator, George Fetters. Boy, his kids are playing well so far.
McKeon, the quarterback. Here come the Lopes again, showing blitz. They back off of it. Iacenda gets the ball, comes around the near side, across the 20 to the 27-yard line. Gain of about 8 yards, 2nd down and 2. Tony Walker with a stop.
Well, right there, Antelope Valley got a little taste of what Ted Iacenda is about, as he gets hit at the 25, and sheer bull strength gets him out to the 28-yard line for a pickup of 8 yards, and you saw Jared Westberg and Charlie Pierce get run over with some tire tracks there.
McKeon again will hand it off to Iacenda. He will not get a first down, maybe lose a yard. Ball comes loose, and AV's got another one. At the 26-yard line, Iacenda loses the ball, and AV recovers again.
Caleb Smith on the football again for Antelope Valley. Number 52, was he in the Hart game plan? Was he supposed to be in that taking handoffs? He's getting more action than Ted Iacenda. Big stick right up the middle, and again you see the Lopes trying to rip the football loose. Boy, it's worked well. That's the 3rd turnover tonight. The Antelopes have cashed in the first 2 for 10 points.
10:40 left to go in this first half. 13-0 AV, and they go to that full house backfield. And Lewis will get the ball out of there. Lewis gets across the 25 to maybe the 24, gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Well, after you saw the Caleb Smith come away with the turnover, why not run behind him? Nice play by linebacker Mark Zimmerman, the knife between the Antelope linemen to make that tackle hold on for dear life with Jermaine Lewis.
We've seen AV use this formation, Brian, early on in the season when they just wanted to eat up clock and just move the ball at 5 yards to pop up the field.
Maybe there was a nuclear winter here. It looks like some nuclear shell shock on the face of the Indians on the sideline.
Ken Nelson will get the call. He'll go around the outside corner. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage, though. And now we're faced again with a 3rd down and 9. Nelson from the full house.
Nice play by Timmy Waddell coming up from the cornerback position. Number 33, watch it again. Boy, he's made a lot of big plays tonight. Fights off a block. Andy Nelson cannot get to the outside. And boy, the Hart Indians, their defense now, Larry, is really being forced to respond, and their offense not doing them any favors in this football game, that's for sure.
3rd down and 9. Singing back in the I formation they go with Reiner and Lewis. Reddick is going to roll out and throw. He's got lots of time. Tremont looks it downfield into the end zone, incomplete. Almost picked off right at the goal line that time by number 37, who had the ball in his hands. Renfro had it, then dropped it, and AV will get another shot at another field goal.
Todd Renfro might be getting a little paranoid because this is the 2nd ball he has been right. This one is right in his hands. You see, Chad Murphy never had a prayer for that ball. Todd Renfro, he was the young man who got victimized on the toss, on the option toss, that Jermaine Lewis turned into a touchdown. So a break there for the Lopes.
This will be a 42-yard attempt. He's hit one of 45, one of 28, this one of 42. Snap is down. Trout gets the kick off. It's high enough. It's good again.
It would have been good from 52.
9:14 left to go in the first half of play. And Chad Shroud, who was labeled inconsistent early in the season with the foot, has hit 4, 3 field goals and 1 extra point. And AV on top by a score of 16-0. We always knew he had a strong foot, Brian, but sometimes very inconsistent. And boy, he comes through here in the big time, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what, the last 2 field goals he's made would have been good from another 15 yards up the field. And again, Larry, this is key for
Let's go down the field now, see what Bob McEwen. Bob, what do you got?
What criteria did go by?
Well, we have a staff that sees a lot of the games. I will probably wind up seeing 15 or 16 of the top 20 teams in California this year myself. And then I'll see the top 2 or 3 teams maybe twice. So combined with that, reports from our correspondents, going along with a lot of the local area ratings, it generally works out pretty well.
Thanks, Mark.
Sure.
Okay, Brian and Larry, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Shrout kicks it in the end zone again. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their 20. And if you're the Hart Indians, Brian, considering all the things that bad have happened, you got to be a little happy about being only down by 16 points.
If you're Mike Harrington, you're glad that you packed your defense tonight, because they are saving your buns right now because of the way the offense is putting the football on the nuclear carpet here so far in the first half. And, you know, this may boomerang eventually on Antelope Valley if their defense gives up a big play. The fact that the Hart Indians has kept total disaster from happening with their defense on those turnovers.
I send a single back, 1st and 10 to 20. Indians have the ball. McKeon, the quarterback. McKeon will give it on the end around this time. Waddell's got the ball to the 25, brought down by Chad Murphy at the 26-yard line. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
There was not an Antelope near Tim Waddell until he was 5 yards up the field, and Chad Murphy launched himself at the legs of the ball carrier. Good blocking on the left side of that line. They got some real beef over there. Mike Wambold, 6'4", 230, the left tackle. And Ryan Shinley, 6'3", 280, number 72 is the left guard.
Give him 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. McKeon's going to throw. McKeon rolling out, puts the ball over the far sideline, throws it out of bounds. Intended for number 3 that time. Really
Dominic
had the ball.
DeLilio.
I don't know if he threw that one away or just had it slip out of his hand.
I think it slipped out of his hands, but I don't think Steve McKeon is used to throwing the ball in the context of running for his life at the same time.
McKeon now 2 of 7 for 13 yards, 1 interception so far. And now a big 3rd down and 3 play from the Indians for their own 27. McKeon steps back, steps up, gets the ball away. Caught this time on McCabe, and a 1st down at the 36-yard line.
Nice safe pattern by Chris McCabe. One thing that really stands out about this offense, Larry, is how the ball gets distributed so much. McCabe runs a simple hitch here on the near side to the sideline. Good knowing where the sticks were to get the 1st down, and Corey Oggs finishes them off.
1st and 10 at the 36. In Hart territory, they go back to the shotgun. High snap goes over McKeon's head. He's going to go down and try to pick it up. Has to fall down on it at the 13-yard line.
You know what's interesting about this play, Larry, is the Hart Indians had a trips formation to the far side of the field, and Tony Walker, the safety, was unsure about who he was supposed to cover. If that was a good snap, you might have had a potential for a big play. There's Steve McKeon saying, gee, if I only could have got the ball, I could have made a play. Watch this again. Nice hang time on this snap.
Man, oh, man.
But, boy, the Lopes again, there's again one of those little breaks in the game, Larry, because I don't think the Lopes would have had that pass pattern covered.
22-yard loss. Take it back to the 14-yard line. McKeon's going to roll out, look to throw, steps up. Big rush, down he goes again at the 9-yard line. This time, Caleb Smith with the stop.
Justin Reiner blitzing and collapsing the pocket from the outside. Funneling the quarterback back up the middle. Watch it again. Shooting the gap comes Reiner. And then stepping into the middle where he was met by Justin Reiner and Hart's going backwards.
Put it back at the 9-yard line. 3rd down and, well, forever.
3rd down and a nice cab fare. 3rd down in a traffic jam when they were fixing this field and this freeway down here.
7:30 left to go in the first half. AV up by a score of 16-0. And Hart faced with a 3rd down and about 50. McKeon steps up, going to put it all the way down the field. Ball's loose, he's caught at the 35-yard line. And it's going to bring it down to about a 4th and 11. Seipel with the catch, but it'll still be 4th and 11 on the long pass.
Boy, there were a whole bunch of Lopes closing on that football. Again, a good play. Jeremy Seipel and Tim Waddell make so many plays for this Hart team that get overlooked in the context of the big plays offensively. But you saw it, Chad Murphy closing on that football, and it could have been easily picked. Nice play by Seipel.
Well, I thought Murphy lost sight of it for a second. Anyway, on a 4th and 11, Hart will punt the ball away. Back deep is Tony Walker. They kick it away from Walker again. And a nice kick for Hart, and will go out of bounds near the 27-yard line. 1st and 10. For AV at the 27, 6:39 on the clock here, Brian. A nice long drive would be making Brent Newcomb happy at this point.
You know, this whole Hart team, though, Larry, is built around offense. And what the Antelopes said by kicking the football off to start the game is, we want to play against you guys all night. And the Lopes defense is dominating the Hart offense at this point in the game. And the other, you know, typically when you hear with this matchup, a great offense, great defense, Larry, you overlook the other offense, and you overlook this offense at your peril.
1st and 10 from their 27. AV with the ball and a 16-0 lead. The ball to Reiner, safe up the middle he goes. Justin off to the races down to the 39-yard line and a first down. Reiner breaking tackles. And that'll give AV a first down to 39.
Again, nice block by Louis Perez cutting across there, number 53. Justin Reiner cuts off that block, and again, a guy that quick and that big, that's got to be quite a jolt to the Indians up front.
23 yards now for Reiner, 3 carries. 1st and 10. Tremone Reddick gets the snap. He'll get on to Jermaine Lewis. Jermaine bursts to speed across the 50, 45, 40. Jermaine cuts back up 30, 30. He's got a foot race to the end zone now. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown.
61 yards for Jermaine Lewis. And the route is on. Well, the Hart folks expected a route tonight. This is kind of prophetic.
Jermaine Lewis throws to 61 yards after Reiner bullied his way for 10. Jermaine hit the speed pedal, and then he was off.
Great move downfield. You see Todd Renfro, and a nice play by the Antelopes just to get in front and obstruct the defender. Renfro never had a chance to get Jermaine Lewis, and the Lopes are getting a hammer out.
Lopes have to take time out as their extra point team was not quite ready. So they'll take a timeout and talk things over for a moment or so. Brian, some folks, even the Los Angeles Times, came out and said that this Hart team was a 3-touchdown favorite tonight.
Well, you know, there's some people who cover high school football who need to get a life, and Brent Newcomb's going to give them a life tonight.
Let's go down the field. Bob McHugh is standing by. Bob.
Well, Brian and Larry, the Lopes have totally taken this crowd out of the football game for Hart High School. Very much discouragement here on the sidelines. They're fighting amongst themselves, having all kinds of difficulties, and they are upset, to say the least. So Larry and Henry and Brian, back to you guys now, and hopefully we can keep this thing rolling here tonight.
Bob, right. What crowd are you talking about down there? I don't hear any crowd.
It is awful quiet, isn't it?
Is this a golf crowd? Is that what's going on here? Is somebody trying to putt?
I don't know if Lori could swing the camera around on the TV side of it and go across the way, and it looks like the Little League World Series, people parking up on the hill out there watching the game, bringing the blankets out.
Shh. We need quiet, Larry. Hart may want to try to play some offense here.
All right.
Keep our voices down.
All right, they're going to go for 2. 73-yard drive capped off by that 61-yard run by Jermaine Lewis. And the 2-point conversion attempt now. Tremone Reddick at quarterback. He will give it back to Jermaine. He fumbles the ball. It's loose. The ball's down on the ground, and that will take care of that 2-point conversion. So with 5:46 left to go here in this first half of play, Antelope Valley up on top by a score of 22-0. And have we seen a flag yet tonight?
Well, I think they're getting ready to put that CIF Championship flag up.
No, I'm talking about those little yellow flags tonight.
I don't think we have. You know, Larry, we can't. Andrews Wyatt made a terrific play, the defensive tackle for the Indians. You know, their offense got all the attention here, but if it wasn't for their defense, they would really be getting hammered right now. I mean, we might have to give them a standing 8 count at this point. Their defense has made a lot of big plays tonight, and I wish we could be a fly on the wall in that halftime conversation, because if I was a defensive player for Hart, I'd be a little upset at the capitulation of my offense. They just totally capitulated. Every big play in this game, Larry, which has required putting your hat down and going for the football. Antelope Valley's won every battle. They've gotten every loose ball. They've gotten all the rug burns.
Waddell and Nelson go back to get another kickoff. And Shrout, the last 3 in the end zone. We'll put this one a little shorter. Nelson will have a chance at the 1-yard line. 5 to the 10 to the 15, looking for somewhere to go, and there's nowhere to go. Gets down to about the 17, maybe they put him on the 20-yard line, 15-yard line, I'm sorry, and a first down and 10 from the 15.
Jared Westberg down there on the special teams, number 34, along with number 11, Damon Williams. And Larry, you can't overlook the special teams play of the Lopes. They are forcing the Hart Indians, in the words of the coach, Hank Stram, to go the long field. You know, last week, because of their explosive offense and some turnovers by Quartz Hill, they got to play on Quartz Hill's side of the 50. they probably, it's a rumor to them at this point that there's another side of the football field.
McKeon pitch it to Iacinda. He's going around the outside. He's got some big wall in front of him. Iacinda gets down to first down territory. Reddick runs him out of bounds at the 24. It's going to be short, 2nd down and 1.
Larry, when you watch the replay on television here, this looked like a very big play because there were a lot of black shirts out to the far side of the boundary and not a lot of white shirts. But watch how quickly Tremone Reddick comes up. Good play by Charlie Pierce to fight off the block. And again, the Lopes give you that little feint, and then they take the field away from you.
2nd down, a long one. Iacinda single back down behind McKeon. And here come the Lopes on a blitz again. Everybody inside. Iacinda looking for somewhere to go, and there is nowhere to go. Iacinda will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. A 3rd down and 2 now.
Nice play by Anthony Porta, number 70. You see him the last one off the field there on the television replay. A 5'9", 237-pound junior, had a great game last week. He was the one who kind of held up the ball carrier for the pickpocket play by Chad Shrout. Shrout got all the attention. Anthony Porta has had a terrific postseason for Antelope Valley.
22-0 Antelope Valley, and a big 3rd down and 2 play now for Hart at their own 22. McKeon's going to throw. Looks up top, gets the ball away. It's caught by McCabe again, and a 1st down at the 35-yard line. 2nd or 3rd time we've seen that particular play tonight, Brian.
Very impressed with this young man, Chris McCabe. Left tackle pulled a little early, but they got away with it. His throw is high. The receiver goes up, has no problem, gets away from Corey Oggs. Then Chad Murphy has to put the stop on him. But boy, his mates, he knows where he is on the football field and gets a big 1st down for Hart. 3 catches, 29 yards for Chris McCabe of the Indians.
McKeon going to go back to pass, has the time again, gets the ball across the middle, picked off. This is Tony Walker. Walker's going to go all the way if he can beat McKeon. He cuts back inside, gets away, steps over the top, touchdown, AV.
The Bulgarian judge has awarded the first perfect 10 for the Terzite.
Walker put
Tony Walker doing it at the 10.
Put the ball up in his hand, in one hand like a loaf of bread, and was doing a ballerina step.
When you see this on television on the replay, 4:30 Saturday, 9 o'clock on Monday, wait till you see this ballet move that Tony Walker puts on. Again, he closes on the football. McKeon never saw him. You got to throw the fastball there, son. Now watch this little Terzite. Oh, there we go. A little 360. You know what it is? It's a 360 move, except there's no basket to dunk it in.
All right, there you go. Terzite, huh? Shrout with the extra point.
Go get that football before it blows onto the freeway.
Boy, there it is. It's good. 4:09 left to go here in the 1st half of play. And that will make it 29-0 in favor of Antelope Valley. We'll take a break and get a breath of fresh air. We'll be right back. And Waddell and Nelson back deep. And the AV crowd across the way having a good time right now. Ball will go into the end zone, and Shrout will make him start at the 20 again.
You know, Larry, last week when the Indians came to the hill and blew the doors off the Rebels and posted the speed limit, 55 points, I thought it was pretty symbolic. And yet the fact is the only speed limit I see out there right now is number 55 for the Lopes. Chad Shrout, who is kicking balls absolutely into the distant reaches of Cougar Stadium. Does this mean that Congressman McKeon's going to be a little harder on the upper part of the district because his nephew's getting hammered out here tonight? I hope not.
We'll have to watch that. We'll have to watch that. Iacinda is a single back behind McKeon. 1st and 10 on his 20-yard line. Well, he's going to have to throw. Puts the ball up to the near side. McCabe again, same play. Walker makes the stop at the 30, close to a 1st down.
Once again,
make it a 1st.
Larry, Chris McCabe knew exactly where to go to get the 1st down. I'm really impressed with this young man. Good fundamentals, good hands, not afraid to extend and take the lick from a ravenous Antelope Valley defense. There are hitters out there in the secondary. And a 1st down there for the Hart Indians. Nice play.
McKeon now 4 in a row, although one of them was an interception to Tony Walker not too long ago. Iacinda gets the carry, and he gets across the middle to the 40 and gets a 1st down to the 42-yard line. Nothing much there to block, to stop him, but Iacinda takes it right up the middle for 11.
I'll tell you what, if Chad Murphy doesn't make the play there to take the wheels out from under Teddy Iacinda, he might still be running right now. Nice draw play, well executed by the Indians here as we are under 4 minutes to play in the 1st half, and it is 29-0 for the Antelope Valley Antelopes.
McKeon again calling to play to the line of scrimmage. At his own 42, here come the Lopes again. Big blitz. McKeon gets the ball away. McCabe's got the catch at the 50. And down he goes at the 48-yard line inside AV territory. McKeon just getting rid of that ball just in time as the Lope defense was all over him.
The blitz comes from Sean Cartaya, number 45. Nice play by Steve McKeon. The hot receiver is who else? McCabe, who has been the go-to guy every time they've needed a big play tonight. Another 11 yards. Another first down for the Hart Indians.
5th catch for McCabe for 50 yards so far tonight. Iacinda again single back. Nelson will go in motion. The pitch will go to Iacinda. Back there is Reiner to stop it. Reiner throws it for a 2-yard loss at the 49.
Once again, the Antelopes spending as much time in that backfield. Before Teddy Iacinda could plant and make a move, Justin Reiner is on it. Watch him just shoot the gap. Nobody accounted for the Lope linebacker shooting that gap, and he drops him for a loss.
3 minutes left to go in the first half. Iacinda's got 8 carries for 40 yards now. Equipment problem on the field. One of the Lopes has a helmet problem they'll take care of. Coming up on the radio at halftime, we'll have sports scores and also news for the full halftime event. Chuck Fletcher back there, as a matter of fact, on television. Bob McEwen with an interview or two. On the Division II championship game here tonight from College of the Canyons. On a second down now, on almost 12. McKeon roll out to throw. Has some time, steps up, going to go long down the field. Ball slips loose. Ball comes down. Jermaine Lewis with the interception at the 23-yard line. And now the Canyon, I should say the Hart folks, getting a little disgruntled.
5, count them, high 5 turnovers now for the Hart Indians. Nice play by Jermaine. You know, he had ideas of trying to return this ball, but as soon as he saw that he was losing his footing, he made the safe play and tucked it away on his way down to the field. Nice play by the Lopes' best defensive back, also obviously their best running back.
2:41 left and the clock will run.
You know, Larry, it's kind of tough. Rob DeJay was suggesting that mechanically Steve McKeon having trouble delivering the football. It's tough to throw when you can't step and plant because you got a red jersey and a red helmet about to knock you on your wallet.
Jermaine Lewis gets the handoff from Reddick. He gets across the 30. Lewis, gang tackled at the 34. Looks like it should be enough for another first down. And if the Lopes were able to hang on for the next 2 minutes and 17 seconds, they will have blanked a very potent offense here for one half of football.
Reiner with the lead, and again, you saw flown across, I think that was Ryan Risky, the safety man, who hits Jermaine Lewis and just bounces right off him.
How about that for the junior, Brian? 132 yards in the first half.
69, of course, on the big touchdown run.
Reiner will get the ball this time. Justin reaching for the 40, gets it there, gain of about 5, second down and 5.
You know the great thing about this Lopes team, Larry, we don't have to get out and ask these kids afterward, well, you're going to go to UCLA and USC next year, you're going to come back for your senior year at Antelope Valley. These kids still have yet to be upperclassmen. They're just getting warmed up.
Oh, it could be very scary what these kids can do next year.
You think Mike Harsman might figure it out? Maybe the Times? Maybe the Daily News? Maybe Pravda has a clue about what's going on in high school football in the Antelope Valley.
Well, the Times need to make it a little further drive up to 14, I think, huh? Tremone Reddick will give it off to Lewis again. Looking inside, he gets down to the 41, and he is gang tackled there. It'll be third down and about 4 with a minute left to go in the first half.
Nice play by the cornerback, Todd Renfro. I'm really impressed with Larry with the resolve and the will of these Hart Indians on defense. They are sticking. They are out playing every down. Their offense is totally quit on them. It's almost like a tag team match. They're getting tag teamed by Antelope Valley's offense and their own offense.
Timeout on the field. I believe Hart will take a timeout with a third down and 5. And 59 seconds left to go here in the first half. AV on top by a score of 29-0.
What would it mean in the great cosmos of prep football in Lancaster if the Lopes were to win a championship game 37-0? You know, I asked James Richards about that last night when the coaches went out for their final get-together.
Saw that in the paper, yeah.
He is still tormented by the loss to Muir in 1986, the best high school football team, maybe with the exception of 1990 Course Hill, I've ever seen in the Valley in the last 12 years. And so many of these kids last night talking to Larry, they said, well, like Coach Richards said, like Coach Richards said, like Coach Richards said, this team came tonight prepared not just to make a statement, but to take no prisoners and to shoot the wounded. And so far, that's exactly what they've done.
3rd down and 5. And I'm sure Brent Newcomb and gang would like to get a first down here. Reddick takes a snap. He's going to throw it. Tremone's going to dump it off. Now he's in trouble. He loses the ball. He better jump on that ball. Tremone tried to throw it, and the flag is thrown. The first flag of the night, as Reddick is going to be called for intentional grounding.
Nice play by Todd Horrigan, the linebacker. It is intentional grounding from our referee there. Good play by the blitzing Horrigan. Actually, I think that was Ted Iacenda who was flowing from the linebacker spot, and Tremone Reddick trying to get away with one. That's kind of tough to do in front of 9,000 people. When you're out there on that day-glow football field they have down here at College of the Canyons.
Put it back to the 24-yard line, and Shrout will have to punt the ball away. On a 4th and about 20. Chad will stand back at his 11-yard line.
Jeremy Seipel singles safety back at his 37.
Shrout hangs it high again. Seipel will camp under the 38-yard line. Tries to come to the near side. Gets cleaned up at the 35.
That was Aaron Yost who nearly took the headgear off Jeremy Seipel as he had a little lane here to the outside of the near side of the field. Shrout a booming punt and just great coverage downfield. Lots of air under that football. Here comes Aaron Yost. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
44 seconds on the clock for the Indians to try to erase that goose egg on their side of the scoreboard. McKeon will roll out, look to throw. Steps up, gets the ball away, and the other side, we've got a man open. Down to the 50-yard line, to the 47-yard line. Out of bounds he goes.
Dominic DeLilio, the receiver over there, Larry. He's a guy who has had a number of scoring plays for Hart, but we haven't heard much from him as Chris McCabe has been the go-to guy so far tonight.
DeLilio with the catch inside AV territory now. Put it to the 47-yard line. Clock will start on the snap. 32 seconds. McKeon will roll out again. Big pressure. Gets the ball away. It's caught by McCabe. McCabe will stay in bounds, though, at the 38-yard line.
Good play by Corey Oggs. He had no play on the football out there. A long throw by McKeon, so he made the safe play, and he kept McCabe from getting to the boundary, so they got to burn a timeout here with 21 seconds left in the half.
Hart will take the timeout with 21 seconds. I believe they will have one more after this one.
You know, Larry, we've talked a lot about how dominant the Lopes have been, but this offense is so explosive. You do not want to let them out from under your thumb, under your heel, whatever. You've got you got your foot on their throat right now. Don't let them up here late in the first half, because if you get this crowd back into the game, we saw it last week as they just it turned into a tidal wave of points in the second half for the Indians once they get it going. And they're a team really that generates momentum and feeds off that in terms of scoring points. So far, those young ladies have had a lot to do because of those young men. 29-0. Antelope Valley leading here in the first half, with just the waning seconds of the first half.
AV will get the kickoff to start the second half, if you're looking ahead a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Larry, we really have to take our hats off to the folks at COC and the folks at Hart High School, everybody down here at College of the Canyons. They have done some job getting this field ready to the extent that it is for this CIF title game. Great setting for a championship game.
Second down with 21 seconds left from the 38. McKeon's going to throw. Steps up, gets the ball away across the middle. It's incomplete to McCabe at the 40, at the 25, I should say. 16 seconds left. Third down.
Well, he has made so many terrific plays tonight. The young man makes a fundamental boo-boo right here. Nice throw, stepping up by Steve McKeon, puts the ball right in his hands. Could he have heard the pitter-patter of antelope hooves, maybe?
A third down and less than 1 yard to go for a first, but more importantly, 16 seconds as they are resting on the 38-yard line in Lope territory. McKeon, here comes the big rush. McKeon steps up, is going for the whole thing down the middle. Nobody down there except for Oggs and Chad Murphy, and the ball falls to the ground with 10 seconds left. Oggs had the ball but then dropped it on the interception try.
But again, you saw Chad Murphy close on the football and Corey Oggs with the coverage downfield. I think Steve McKeon is not used to loading up, trying to hit that one wood. He's used to hitting the irons from that distance, and that football is starting to flutter. He just mechanically is not delivering the deep ball very well tonight.
4th and 1, 10 seconds on the clock. McKeon's going to just drop it off to McCabe for the first down. He jumps out of bounds. He gets to the 34, and with 7 seconds left, they'll have a fresh set of downs.
Hart's kicker, Kevin McLaughlin, has had a couple of 40-yard field goals this year, Larry. So they're getting into the range where they can get at least something on the board before they head to intermission.
Discussion on the sideline right now as McKeon gets to play. He will bark out the signals at the line of scrimmage. 7 seconds left. And now Antelope Valley will take a timeout, their final timeout of this first half. McCabe now with 7 catches for 63 yards.
What do you think the odds were that you could have told folks in Newhall that that picture would be on the TV screen with 7 seconds, 007, license to kill here at halftime? 7 seconds left in the half.
Very surprised near side of the football field, players and fans alike, as they are not used to this kind of thing with a great 13-0 season. This is something they have not faced before.
Larry, this is a total role reversal from '86 with Antelope Valley. I just hope that the folks in Newhall don't make the same mistake that we in Lancaster made in getting on Brent Newcomb's case in 1986. These are teenagers. They're trying awfully hard. It's typically adults who get involved and cross that line of diminishing returns of excitement where they start taking it a little bit too seriously. These kids have had a brilliant year. They clearly have not played their A game tonight, mainly because of the kids in the AV helmets on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
All right,
but AV knows how it feels.
You bet. 7 seconds left to go. And McKeon gets the call from the Lope 34-yard line. The Hart quarterback goes back, steps up. He's in trouble. Down he goes. And that will run the clock, and that'll be it for the first half of play.
Anthony Borda with the sack, and boy, he's had a terrific first half and a great playoff season, Larry.
That will end the first half of play on the sack, and pretty much tells the story all first half of this Hart football team and its problem with their offense. They go into the halftime locker room down by 29 points. Antelope Valley down by, I should say, up by a score of 29-0. On radio, we'll take a break right now, get you up to date on weather, sports, and news and all that stuff. And meanwhile, on the television side, we'll take a break and go down to Bob McEwen.
I'm with Pat Iacino, the outgoing athletic director from AV High. And Pat, explain what we just saw in these 29 points in this first half.
I think what you saw is Antelope Valley High School's speed versus Hart High School's strength and size. You know, and that's basically what it was. We've shown quickness all year, and Brent and his club and his coaching staff done a great job so far. Really proud of him.
What do you think he can say to have them do anything more in the halftime?
Nothing, just, right now they don't score, they don't win, and keep them below 29 points. Keep playing, keep the pressure on defensively, and keep doing what we're doing.
Pat, this is your last official assignment, I guess, as athletic director, and Mark takes over after tonight, does he?
Mark takes over on Monday, and I take over my administrative duties down at the other side of the building.
Well, you've done a great job as athletic director at AV High. Some of the things that you have put together individually as far as the success over there of the program.
Well, we've tried to work on really looking at the athletic program as a whole, not just, football or boys basketball, but, we're looking at girls basketball, girls volleyball, swimming, tennis, and really trying to improve the overall aspect of athletics, get more kids involved, and they stay involved, they stay out of trouble, and they have a good time.
Pat, thanks for coming all the way over. We hope we win this one tonight.
So do we.
Okay, we're in the driver's seat. Thanks. Pat Iacino, our guest, the outgoing athletic director from AV High, and we're going to be back with our second half after this commercial timeout. And boy, don't you leave us. This is sensational.
Radio, Larry Thornhill along with Brian Golden from the Valley Press, Star Rob Duche with stats, and Bob McEwen on the sideline. AV off to a surprising 29-0 first half start, and they'll get the ball to start things off in the second half, Brian.
Pretty impressive little Hart bypass procedure. What would you say there was a quintuple bypass? Because there were 5 turnovers in the first half.
And they'll go for the onside kick right off the bat, and it will roll out, and I believe Hart's got the ball.
Chris McCabe has got the football.
Uh-oh, talk about momentum now. All of a sudden, for the first time tonight, the crowd on the near side up on their hand, up on their feet, I should say, and they got a first down at the AV 49-yard line.
Beautifully executed kick by Kevin McLaughlin. The Lopes were retreating to set up the wedge, and there wasn't a white shirt anywhere near that football. And for the first time in quite a while, Hart has the football not just on the AV side of the 50, but this start from AV 48.
29-0 in favor of Antelope Valley. Hart coming out here and working hard. McKeon, the quarterback. Iacinda is a single back behind him from the Lope 49-yard line. McKeon's going to throw, dumps it off, caught by McCabe. A pitch pass goes off to number 20. Nelson's got the ball, 28 out of bounds, goes out at the 28-yard line, and a first down.
Hook and ladder play. Hart is just pulling everything out at this point. You got to like the way they have come out here in the second half. They're now down inside the 30-yard line of Antelope Valley. There's the hitch to McCabe, and there's Nelson coming around, and the Lopes just converging again, capitalizing on the Lopes' over-aggressiveness.
Lori Losi hanging on to the camera. Good job, Lori. She's okay. McKeon's going to throw now. He's going to give it to Iacinda. He's got the ball. Nope, nowhere to go. He might get a yard. Second down and 9.
You know, as if it's bad enough that Chad Shrout doesn't kick footballs, he kicks some fanny, too, as he was the one who stopped Ted Iacinda there. And Anthony Bordas had a big game tonight. Number 70, the right defensive tackle for the Lopes. And Justin Reiner a little slow getting up there, trying to shake it off. Try getting him off the field in the CIF Championship game. Well, I guess they're going to do it. The officials are going to make Justin Reiner go out for one play. Louis Perez will come in, number 53, at the inside backing position.
Gain of a half a yard. Second down and 9. Ball at the 27-yard line in AV territory. Hart with their biggest threat of the night. And here comes the blitz. McKeon takes the snap. We'll give it off to Iacinda. Meet Chad Shrout right at the 30. A 4-yard loss.
Well, number 55 flashing that speed limit sign again. Right in the face of Ted Iacinda, loses 2 yards. Watch this. Nobody picks up Chad Shrout flowing across the line. That's why Chad Shrout's been spending so many Saturday afternoons at Division I football games in Southern California this year.
Third down and 11, make almost 12, and a 3-yard loss. Ball now at the close to the 30-yard line.
Here's that trips formation, Larry. The Lopes were a little confused defending this thing, and they look confused again.
In the shotgun, McKeon back to pass, has a whole bunch of time, puts it up towards the end zone, and caught, touchdown by Nelson. Over the top of Tony Walker on a nice corner catch. And Hart's on top early.
Boy, a perfectly delivered football by Steve McKeon there, Larry. And the key was that Tony Walker, the sophomore safety, was distracted by Jeremy Seipel running a post pattern from out of the slot here on the left side of the screen on the television replay. And that's all the time McKeon needed. Boy, that's a perfect throw. Beautiful catch by C.J. Nelson. And how do you do? Maybe a tale of two halves here at the COC.
Extra point coming up. Snap is down. McLaughlin's kick is good. 10:35 left to go in the third quarter of play. AV now up 29-7. So obviously in the locker room at halftime, Brian, the Hart Indians get a little bit of a talking to. A little razzle-dazzle when they come out of the locker room with the onside kick and the hook and ladder, and they're in the end zone.
And again, there's that, we saw the coaching staff here on the sideline. But again, Larry, that was the trips formation, and there was a lot of confusion in the Lope secondary, and I think we saw why there, because when you're in a man coverage situation and somebody breaks a pattern off from one side of the field going up toward the seam, toward the goalpost, that created confusion for Tony Walker. By the time he figured out there was a deep fade to the end zone, it was too late. A nice catch and a perfect throw by Steve McKeon.
And the stadium getting very loud now, and AV needs to come back and answer with at the very least a nice long drive. They got to make sure they get the kickoff first. And you can hear the Hart Indian crowd through the glass of the press box making a lot of noise. Across the way, AV stands up. Reddick and Lewis real short. AV's looking for the onside kick. McLaughlin kicks it up in the air. Reddick will take it at the 20. Tremone up the middle, he goes to the outside now. Tremone down to the 40. 42-yard line. Good field position for AV as they start this offensive set on their own 42.
Well, there's a good answer back by Antelope Valley as they had their first dose of adversity tonight, Larry. And they kicked it to the wrong guy because Tremone Reddick's got great speed, and he's also watching. They're going to try to tackle a football here, and that's a big mistake as he goes all the way out to the 43-yard line. Great starting field position for the Lopes.
Ball down at the 43. Reiner, who went out earlier on a play, is, I don't know if he's back in there this time or not. Maybe taking some time getting this play together. Yes, Reiner is the fullback. He is the single back behind Reddick. 1st and 10 from their own 43. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Reddick will give it to Reiner. Reiner fights his way all the way down to the 49. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. I thought they stopped him with a 1-yard gain.
So did they. But again, an effort play, Larry, and it comes down to who comes up with the second effort first. And it's been all Lopes in these situations all night. Mark Zimmerman, a terrific tackler in the inside backer position, number 54, and he had to buy a ticket to go along on that ride. 6-yard pickup out to the 49-yard line.
9:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Clock runs. AV taking all of that clock in between snaps. Far side, Murphy. Near side, Walker. Now Reddick's going to move some players around in the backfield. Now he'll take the snap. He'll give it to Lewis. Jermaine cuts up the middle. Gets close to a 1st down, but he'll be short. 3rd down and 1 as it gets into Indian territory at the 48.
It'll be 3rd down and 1, Larry, as they're now at the Hart 48-yard line. Nice little kind of a counter trade there as the wingback led Jermaine Lewis through the hole off the left side, and a good tackle holding on there by Zweiert. Again, the kids up front for Hart have made a lot of big plays tonight. They didn't let Jermaine Lewis get away for the 1st down there.
On a 3rd down and a short 1, they put the full house in there. The carry will Jermaine Lewis. A flag is thrown where the holding call normally takes place. And that was a 1st down for
the umpire
Lewis.
Threw it, Larry, on the left side of the Antelopes line, and that probably is going to be holding, so no 1st down, but instead a 3rd down and probably 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 10. Tough time to get the first penalty of the game.
Hold will go against AV, will back him up. Put him down at the 42-yard line.
You know what else is frustrating about that, Larry? The hold was well on the other side of the play. The play was run to the right tackle side, the near side of the field in the formation, and the holding was well away from the point of attack. That has got to be annoying to Brent Newcomb.
42-yard line. They need to get to about the 47 inside Hart territory, a 3rd and 11, and AV once again taking a long time. They'll have to call a timeout to make sure they get the right play in.
You know, Larry, this at least early on here, with the Lopes taking all the time milking the clock between plays, you don't want to sit on a lead against a team like this group that can throw the football and make big plays, as we've already seen here once on their first possession of the 2nd half. Lopes have to continue to attack here in the 2nd half. If they sit back, they're going to have a football game on their hands.
8:18 left to go in the 3rd quarter, 29-7. KVL, Lancaster, Palmdale, and Channel 3 on the simulcast tonight. Division II championship ball game. Hart Indians force the AV Lopes into a 3rd down and 11 now.
There's Mike Harrington, the head coach of the Indians, talking to his players on the sideline.
A big play here for the AV offense.
Wonder if somebody from the Times maybe went in and lectured the Indians at halftime about
that could have been it.
The credibility of the world champion sports section.
AV on a 3rd and 11. Reddick's going to pitch it to Lewis. Lewis is going to throw. Gets the ball away. Right there, Shrout. I should say Chad Murphy with a catch and a 1st down to 39.
Well, they could have had his pick because 5 yards farther upfield, Tony Walker was wide open too. How's that for a call by Brent Newcomb? I wonder if Wayne Ekamoto might have sent this play in. Everybody crashes to contain against Jermaine Lewis, and he comes up with a big 19-yard conversion on 3rd down.
Oh, so the razzle-dazzle on the AV side as well, and they have a 1st down. First completion of the night by the passing team of Antelope Valley. It wasn't by the quarterback. It's by Jermaine Lewis. Why not? Reddick will give it to Lewis. He'll run it this time. Lewis straight ahead, and he gets taken down after about a 2-yard gain. Zimmerman with the stop by the Indians. And a 2nd down and 8.
Jeremy Seipel shooting a gap from the linebacker spot, number 35. Those kids up front have really played well tonight for Hart. Isn't it kind of interesting and ironic, Larry? The first completion, and it isn't the quarterback who delivers it for the Lopes. It's been that kind of a game for AV.
Brent Newcomb bringing out the big play. It was a big 3rd and 11. Hart definitely with the momentum at that point. Now give the Lopes a 1st down, actually a 2nd down, and a long 7. Reddick again will give it to Lewis. Lewis hit hard as he gets across the 35 to the 33. It'll be third down and just about 5 to go.
Boy, linebacker Todd Horrigan, number 47, got a shot on Jermaine Lewis, and watching the television replay, he's the one who's down on the ground with the stinger in his shoulders. He's trying to get up there on the left side of the screen.
Play being brought in again by Corey Oggs. Gives it to Tremone Reddick on a 3rd and a short 5. Ball at the Hart Indian 33. Single back is Lewis. Reddick's going to throw. Reddick's going to throw over to Oggs. Oggs got the first down. It gets down to the 27-yard line. Waddell with the stop. Oggs just turning around and catching the ball off the back of his foot, hangs on to it, and gives AV a first down.
This is a nice touch throw by Tremone Reddick right over the hands of Turner out there and in front of the cornerback on that side, Renfro. Nice throw by, boy, there's some touch from a guy who's not known for having to deliver any kind of pass this season.
He is 1 of 3 passing now tonight. 6 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Reddick will give it off to Reiner. He bullies his way across the 25 to the 24. Gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. Straight ahead, nothing fancy. Eats up some clock. AV on top, 29-7.
How big would this drive be, Larry, if they were to milk the clock for several minutes and then end up sticking another 6 in the end zone?
After Hart came out on fire here in the 2nd half with the onside kick, a hook and ladder play, and a couple plays later, a touchdown pass. Certainly the offensive highlight tonight for the Hart Indians, and the momentum on their side. AV comes back and has a nice long drive. 2nd down and 7 to pitch to Lewis. He'll try to run on the outside. Nothing there. Cuts inside. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like it could have been a bigger loss than it was. He might have got back to the line. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Again, Andy Wyatt, the defensive tackle, number 65, gets out there with first contact. And Jermaine Lewis, the type of guy who sheds a tackle like that. Nice play by Wyatt to hold him up till the posse got there to help. Again, brings up a 3rd and long.
And once again, Brian, looks like they found at least at this point, found the number on Jermaine Lewis running-wise anyway. And they have slowed him down from his 136 yards in that first half.
Damon Williams now splits to the near side of the field as a receiver.
Reddick is going to look to throw. Big pressure. Tremone gets the ball away. Slips out of his hand. Incomplete. Saipo was back there on the pressure, so that'll bring up a 4th down and 7. And we'll see Trad Shroud again.
Counter boot coming out here by Reddick, and a nice play pursuing by Jeremy Seipel. Again, a big play, and they've made a bunch of them tonight. They've had to by the Hart defense.
This will be a 41-yard attempt. He's had a 45 and a 42 so far tonight. And plus that 28-yard one. Snap is down, it gets loose. Walker's got the ball. Tony cuts upfield. Walker got get close to a first down. He gets down to the 18-yard line, but Hart will take over on downs. He does not get quite far enough.
Boy, nice presence of mind by sophomore Tony Walker. Nearly turned another gaffe, and we did not see very many failures in execution by the Lopes in the first half, Larry. But there's another one.
AV will turn the ball over on downs on the bad snap by handled by Tony Walker. And with 4:38 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Indians have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 18-yard line. McKeon. Pitch it to Iacinda, comes around the outside. Iacinda looking for someplace to go. Gets across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Jermaine Lewis with the stop.
You know, we talk so much about Chris McCabe, the receiver here on the near side of the field. Watch the crackback block he drops on Chad Murphy here. Here's the receiver coming, boom, and Chad slow getting up, and now he's going to go off the field. Sam Viana coming out there to see how the Antelope safety man is doing. I'm impressed with Chris McCabe, very well-rounded football player. Catches a football and he blocks, and he's made an awful lot of good fundamental plays for Hart tonight.
Iacinda with only 44 yards in this game. 4:14 left to go in the 3rd quarter, though. Plenty of time.
This from a guy who has rushed for 2,000 yards, close to 2,000 yards on the season, the first 13 games.
McKeon now faced with the 2nd and 5 from his own 22. The Indian quarterback steps back to pass. Big rush. Here comes the rush. Down he goes again. Down at the 20. Loss of 3. It'll be 3rd down and about 8.
Left linebacker Charlie Pierce blitzing from the actually not from the blind side. I'm surprised Steve McKeon didn't feel that pressure a little bit more. Loss of 2.
4th sack of the night for the Antelopes, bring up a 3rd down and long play again. They've gotten to McCabe on these situations on the pass. Let's see what happens. From the Indian 20. Back to passes McKeon, looking for somewhere to go. Now he sprints outside, gets some time, gets the ball away, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. And out of bounds he goes right at the 30, and that's enough for a first down to Lilio with the catch. Nice hustle by McKeon at quarterback.
Lope's coaches are complaining about a illegal block here. There's a clip, if we saw the backer coming up on the coverage to contain outside there, and he was clearly blocked from behind, but not clearly enough that the officials could see it.
Second catch for DeLilio. And now at first down at the Indian, let's call it the 30-yard line.
Well, they're really supposed to block the number if it's in the front of the play.
McKeon's going to pitch play to Iacinda on the backfield. Iacinda and Shrout were running neck and neck, and McKeon had his choice of pitching it to Shrout or Iacinda, and he got it to Iacinda.
What else could Chad Shrout do tonight? Maybe they could put him in and throw a pass later on, huh?
Give him a 2-yard gain on the pitch play. 2nd down and 8, right up the middle it went. 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. AV on top, 29-7. Iacinda, I should say McKeon back to pass, steps up, he's in trouble, down he goes again. Pierce, Shrout, Westberg, you name it, they're all back there. It'll be 3rd down and about 12.
And Chad Shrout's jersey now tells the story of the game. 5 sacks, 5 turnovers. And we're under 2.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Lope's holding on 29-7 again. Here's the pressure. Again, Borda forces the quarterback outside, and then a trio of Lopes wipe their hooves on him.
McKeon taking a long time getting the signal from Harrington on the sideline. Still not quite sure what he wants to do. A 3rd and 11, he's going to go back to the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the far side. McKeon gets a good snap this time, rolls out to the right, looking for 11 yards. Gets the ball downfield and a catch and a first down. Nope, they say he's out of bounds. No, they say they caught it at the 46. Nelson with the catch and a first down. Brett Newcomb said no, he was out of bounds, but they'll give it to the Indians on a first down.
17-yard pickup on the rollout. Nice throw here by McKeon to Nelson, who was out of bounds. They missed another one.
At the 46 now, still in Indian territory. First down, 2 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. McKeon right back underneath center. Lope showing all sorts of blitz. Iacinda comes in motion, 4 wide receivers to the near side. Ball dumps off to Iacinda. He's got lots of room on the near side to the 50-yard line. Dumped at the 49 by Corey Oggs.
That's a terrific play by Corey Oggs, because Teddy Iacinda, well-executed play as McKeon delivers to him off the motion to the near side of the formation. He had some blockers out here. Watch Corey Oggs get inside, though. Defeats the block by McCabe and then takes big Ted Iacinda down on the wheels.
6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4 now inside Lope territory at the 48. Double wide receivers now. Big blitz, McKeon steps back, steps up, gets the ball away, caught by McCabe, out of bounds he goes. At the 43-yard line, another first down, well, close to a first down. Should be a 1st and 10.
Once again, Chris McCabe is the go-to guy for the Indians, and he knew exactly where he was. They're going to look across the far side of the field. They say first down. They move the chains again.
Taking little chunks at a time with 1:22 left to go in the 3rd quarter and a timeout on the field. Obviously, they have stopped the turnovers, Brian, and been able to hang on to the ball a little bit here, and they're moving the ball nicely, but you know, 29-7, is there enough time to do these little 10-yard plays?
I'll tell you what, though, the Lopes want to make them travel a long distance and use up the clock, but I'm impressed with Steve McKeon. He has really stepped up here in the second half. 16 of 25 in the game for McKeon. 6 for 6 for 70 yards here in the 3rd quarter for Steve McKeon. He developed that little Fred Astaire, Jim Everett dancing feet deal there in the first half, Larry, but he has really stood in. He's thrown a nice ball on the move, and he showed an awful lot of leadership for the Indians here in the second half. It's, you know, it is no fluke that these young men are 13-0 with nuclear numbers that they put up all year. They really are responding here in the third quarter.
Antelope Valley now on defense. Hart with the ball, 1st and 10 at the AV 43.
Trips formation to the top of the screen, far side of the field. They got a touchdown last time they ran this play.
They showed shotgun, back off of that now. McKeon back underneath center. Iacinda single back behind him. Iacinda will get the ball, and straight ahead he goes. He might not get much, though. He'll get a couple yards. 2nd down and 8.
Well, what a surprise. Chad Shrout's the last guy off the field there on the play. Boy, nice play by Shrout, too, because he was just getting up ahead of steam on that play, Larry.
That time, McKeon seeing something and calling an audible, breaking out of the shotgun.
Took a terrific play. Excuse me, Larry, took a terrific play by Shrout to keep that from breaking for big yardage.
2nd down and 8, this time in the shotgun. McKeon back. He's got a whole bunch of time. Now he steps up. Now he's in trouble. Now he goes. Chad Shrout finally catches up to McKeon and be 3rd down and 8.
How many red and white number 55s did the Lopes dress tonight?
Mr. McKeon's probably asking that question. He's also asking his receivers, what are you guys running? Right now asking his coach, what are they running?
That's a coverage sack. 6th sack of the evening. That's a coverage sack, Larry, because he's got plenty of time. But the Lopes have everybody blanketed, and there's Mr. Shrout again on the stop.
13 seconds left to go in this third quarter. And they may have to take one more snap without getting a penalty here. And now a timeout. McKeon will take a timeout with 4 seconds on the clock.
Oh, sure. I'm sure that they wanted to burn a timeout at the end of the third quarter.
Could have used that later on, possibly.
You know, they could have let they could have just taken the 5 yards. He's been throwing the ball very effectively here.
Tonight at the end of the game, Brian will be lucky enough to pick out the Burger King player of the game. We thank Larry Ralston and the great folks at Burger King for supporting high school and college athletics all season long here on radio and on television. And Bob McEwen down in the field will pick up the A1 Trophy player of the game, Kim McGowan, and the folks at A1 Trophy again this year, helping support local college and high school athletics. And how important it is, Brian, for the community to get behind these ball clubs.
Oh, it's tremendous, Larry. You know what? We saw down in this community, down here in the Santa Clarita Valley, what the Canyon team did. You know, our community in the high desert, the last great frontier of Los Angeles County, and a lot of neighbors, the only time you ever see each other is when you're at the football game on Friday night. It's the great socializer, the great common denominator, and a great source of pride in Lancaster. And wouldn't it, of course, on television this would be irrelevant, but on radio and KVL, wouldn't it be amazing if this is a championship in football, and then Johnny Avila would have shocked the world and Oscar De La Hoya down at the Grand Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles in the 12-round lightweight championship bout on Saturday.
Ready for it. That'd be super. 3rd down and about 11. From the 43 AV territory, McKeon still not quite sure what he's hearing from the coaching staff. Now he's ready to go. He'll change the signal at the line of scrimmage. Takes a couple steps back. Here comes a big rush.
Safety blitz.
Down he goes again. He gets away from it this time. Now he's brought down from behind. And it'll be 4th and 10.
Almost a sack. Caleb Smith over there. Sean Cartaya, the leading tackler on this Lopes defense tonight. Or I should say all season, number 45.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. And McKeon's asking, where am I going to find a receiver? 29-7 in favor of Antelope Valley. And we'll take a break. We'll come back with more. The last quarter of the 1994 football season coming up. McKeon looking to throw the ball. These 10 yards to get it. Gets across the, not enough. I might be short of first down. DeLilio gets a great spot at the 33-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down. Nice throw and catch by the Indians.
I think they use the metric system down here in the southern end of the Santa Clarita Valley. I tell you what, the side judge gave him almost 2 additional yards from where he landed of his own volition. Watch this again. This guy must be a cartographer or something. There's where he lands. Now watch this. Okay, that's where he caught the football. Sure he did.
First down for the Indians. 11:48 left to go in the ball game.
I'm going to quit ripping NFL officials after this.
Here comes AV on the blitz again. The ball at the AV 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians. McKeon again. Big rush. McKeon gets the ball away. Incomplete to DeLilio again on the near side.
That is the first misfire of the second half by Steve McKeon.
Big rush put on that time. Steve had to get the ball away just a little too early.
Here's Dean Harrington, who's the offensive coordinator. You see him in the back there. The Hart coaching staff not used to being in this situation. Lopes, that young man, is used to beating on a few teams. That's Tremone Reddick.
In the shotgun, McKeon back to pass. Big rush again by Westberg. McKeon gets the ball away, almost picked off by Pierce, who stepped up and knocked the ball away from the intended receiver, that time at number 33. That was Waddell.
Again, Larry, we talked about this all night. Speed kills. Watch the closing speed of Charlie Pierce. Steve McKeon thinks he got a wide open receiver. Boom, where'd 32 come from?
3rd down and 10 now. $11:25 left to go in the season. Back underneath center, McKeon. He needs 10 yards. Big rush. Everybody coming after. Isin's got the ball. Nobody back there for the Lopes. Isin on the move to 20. Isin brought down to the 18. There was a 7-man rush, and McKeon just barely got the ball away to Isin. He had nothing but field in front of him.
What a great play by Tremone Reddick to keep Teddy Isin from going the distance, but what composure and poise on the part of Steve McKeon. Here came everybody but Pat Iacino on the blitz, and he gets the football off. A pickup of 15 and a 1st down, and boy, a terrific second half by quarterback Steve McKeon of the Indians.
1st down at the AV 17. This time Nelson gets the ball in the reverse, not even there, 2nd and 10.
Under 11 minutes to play now in the 4th quarter. And it's Antelope Valley 29 and Hart 7. And again, Larry trying to go capitalize on the over-aggressiveness of the Lopes. Lopes wouldn't be sucked in and hammered to stuff that reverse.
Back to the shotgun. Goes McKeon. Snap. Here comes the big rush again by Westberg. McKeon steps up away from it. Throws it to the far side. McCabe's got the, I should say Nelson's got the ball at the 11-yard line. It'll go out of bounds there. It'll make up a 3rd down and about 2.
You know, I think the initial pressure when the Lopes were coming after Steve McKeon really got him out of sorts in the 1st half, but the Hart quarterback, you see him stepping away from the Jared Westberg's pressure, and a nicely lofted ball right out into the hands of the receiver on the far sideline where only he could catch it. So good play again by McKeon. The Indians using a lot of time, but they are moving deep into AV territory.
McKeon changing to play the line of scrimmage from the shotgun. We'll roll out to the near side now. Look towards the end zone. Down he goes again. Caleb Smith was there. I should say Caleb was there along with other Lopes. So push him all the way back down to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 10 now at the 18-yard line.
That's 3 sacks for Caleb, who also has 2 fumble recoveries and a partridge in a pear tree. 7 sacks in the game now by the Antelopes.
Now a big 4th and 10 play, and McKeon is looking for 10 more yards somewhere. He'll go up underneath center to take the snap. He'll roll out, looking for somewhere to go. Big pressure, gets the ball away, incomplete. Almost tipped into a receiver's hand in the end zone. AV will take over on downs.
Tremone Reddick got a hand on that football and almost regretted that he did, Larry, because there's that man again, Chris McCabe, who has been Johnny on the spot all over the place all night. Boy, he pays a price for delivering this ball just over the arms of Corey Oggs, who says, I thought I had a pick. And McCabe says, no, I thought an interception. Antelope Valley's got the ball, and they're 9:43 from a delicious CIF championship.
29-7. They have the ball 1st and 10 at their 18-yard line. And Hart will be coming hard here now. Reddick will take the snap to Jermaine Lewis. Lewis looking for the hole, finds a little bit, but then that hole gets covered up nicely. Lewis gets a 2-yard gain. Zimmerman with a big stop for Hart.
And Jeremy Seipel cut off one of Jermaine Lewis's favorite cutback lanes here. Television replay, pays a price for it too. There's the big stick, and he gets flipped on this. He's holding his left arm as he comes off the field. Could be a wrist injury. He's laid it out on the field tonight, as so many of those Hart players have on defense.
Clock will run, gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Reddick will pitch it off to Lewis around the outside. To the right he goes. Jermaine spins around. And they have shut Jermaine Lewis down here in the 2nd half. He gets another yard possibly, but 3rd up and 7. but Jermaine certainly has not had the running room he did in the first half.
Terrific game by Hart's backers tonight. That time was Todd Horrigan who made sure Jermaine Lewis didn't find an escape route as they ran the toss sweep. Nice play by Horrigan. Larry, will the Times have to draft a formal letter of apology to Antelope Valley High School?
I would think so, at the very least.
Did they run that Dewey defeats Truman headline back in 1948?
I saw a Channel 4 cameraman down the field. I wonder if they would show it tonight. They may tuck the tape away, huh? 3rd and 8. The ball off to Lewis. Lewis bumped, and he gets maybe another yard, and it's going to be 4th and 7, and they're going to punt the ball away.
Again, a great play by Sean Keys, number 63, the defensive tackle, and Ian Ressler, the defensive end. Can't say it enough, Larry. They have really played their hearts out tonight on defense for these Hart Indians. But it's tough when you got to try to overcome two offenses, the one you're playing against and your own.
Seipel back deep to receive the punt from Shroud. He stands at the 10-yard line. He's only punted once tonight. That one was 41 yards. Gets a nice snap, no pressure at all. Shad puts it up in the air again. Seipel will take it on the run at the 40. Looking for some place to go. Gets to the 46, and that is it. 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 46. 7:37 left to go in the ball game. Indians down by 22 points.
Nice defensive series last time, Larry. Hart had the ball, but all they did was run a lot of time off the clock, and the Lopes answered on the key 4th down situation. So I got to think they got to start trying to deliver the home run ball with frequency from here on out.
McKeon will step underneath center. From his own 46-yard line, the Hart Indian quarterback will roll out. AV gives him some time, puts it up on top, going for the big play. He's got Nelson there. Nelson at the 10, to the 5, to the 2-yard line.
C.J. Nelson running just a simple streak pattern down the near hash mark, down the seam of the defense, Larry. And again, an underneath crossing pattern, distracted sophomore Tony Walker just enough. But boy, how wide open was he? 52-yard pickup on this play. Nice delivery by Steve McKeon, who's over 260 yards passing now.
And a 1st and goal, the ball to Iacinda, touchdown.
Touchdown.
So just like that, the Indians come back with only run off 10 seconds off the clock.
Now that is the Hart offense that everybody expected to see tonight with a little bit more frequency.
That'll make it 29-13.
They're going to go for the deuce here, get back within 2 touchdowns.
Big catch by Nelson. He's got 106 yards receiving, and a 2-point conversion try coming up. AV jumps offside. Let's see if they were drawn. See if somebody moved on the Hart side.
David Dilger just submarined across, and I think it's going to cost the Lopes a half the distance. That's exactly what's going to happen. Offside, encroachment, Antelope Valley.
Penalty against Antelope Valley. And the Indians will have a little shorter distance to go. They will try the 2-point conversion now. They stack it up deep on the far side. Iacinda gets the 2-point conversion. 7:07 left to go in the ball game. 29-15 in favor of Antelope Valley. We'll take a commercial break and come back with the rest. Stay with us.
We'll see if he does one here.
Onside kick possibility coming up here for the Hart Indians. Down by 2 touchdowns now. Lewis and Reddick are deep, and they kick it off. And Lewis will have to go back over his shoulder to catch the ball to go into the end zone. And AV a 1st and 10 at their own 20, and they need a real long drive with some points at the end.
Nice execution on the special teams by the Indians. No time off the clock, and the Lopes have to drive 80 yards now. And they're moving from right to left here with 7:07 to play. 4th quarter from College of the Canyons, and second half has been all Hart. Of course, first half was all Antelope Valley.
It was all Hart the wrong way. 5 turnovers in that first half led to the points for AV, and that's where we've been sitting since. Jermaine Lewis is the tailback in the eye. Justin Reiner, the fullback. Reiner will get the ball, and Justin takes about 12 Hart Indians into first down territory to 32.
Well, that was a little case of 10 little Indians. We all learned that little message when we were little ditty when we were growing up, and I think all about 10 of them went along for the ride with Justin Reiner. And how's that for an in-your-face, a way to respond? all on his own by Justin Reiner. 13 yards and a first down, and we're under 7 minutes to play.
Reiner, the last couple times, has opened up some holes, especially in that first half, and then they give it to the speedster Lewis, and he breaks one. Let's see what happens now. 50 now for Justin Reiner at the fullback position. He will come to the near side. 3 wide receivers to the side over to near the press box. The ball will go to Jermaine Lewis. Lewis scats across the 35 to the 36. Gain of about 3. Second down and 7. Still inside AV territory.
C.J. Port sliding along the line from the right defensive end to make the stop. They have been sure tacklers up front, other than the 61-yard touchdown burst, Larry. I'm really impressed with the fundamentals of the Hart defense tonight. And now it is can they come up with a turnover for their offense the way the Lopes have 5 times for theirs?
Lopes have not turned over yet tonight.
They better not here.
Jermaine Lewis will get the ball now. Tremaine Reddick will keep it himself on the option around the far side. Reddick beating heads down close to the first down sticks. He was hit real hard at the 40, kept his head up and got down to the 42. It'll be close to a first down.
Tremone Reddick's going to leave some tire tracks. Counter boot again. They pull Perez to lead him to the far side away from Zimmerman. And how's that little cymbaling headbutt over there with, I think that was Todd Renfro. Poor Todd Renfro, they've been after him tonight. Because he's gotten run over. He's had a pitch play that went for a touchdown that he almost had in his hands, and an interception went through his hands, and that time he had his hands full with Tremone Reddick.
Reddick did step out of bounds, though, stop the clock with 5:53 left on a 3rd and short play now, 3rd and less than 1. The full house, and Lewis gets the ball and a first down across the 45. That puts Jermaine over 150 yards. More importantly, gives AV a first down, and the clock will run.
And more now, Larry, the Hart defense has to gamble and has to go for the football rather than the ball carrier. There's our broadcast position up here, and we want to thank everybody at College of the Canyons for their hospitality tonight. They have really put on a great show along with the California Interscholastic Federation tonight here at COC.
1st and 10 at the 45, AV territory. Murphy to the near side. It'll be Tony Walker to the far side. Wide receivers, Reddick will give the ball off to Jermaine Lewis. Not much there this time. Lewis gets back to the line, 2nd and 10.
Good penetration by linebacker Jeremy Seipel, number 35, who got Jermaine just as he was trying to read the block of his left guard, Louis Perez, and held that to no gain. Watch it again. Here comes Seipel. And then Lewis, the best he can do is fall forward to the original line of scrimmage.
Less than 5 minutes left to go now. 2nd down and 10.
What do you think would happen if you play fake and stand up and send somebody down the seam? They're blitzing everybody.
Not this time. They just give it to the Moose. Reiner takes it close to midfield. Gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6, though. It's the interesting call coming up here now.
We are under 4 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Interesting, the clock is...
Can't figure out why the clock is stopped.
The clock is stopped because the Antelopes have called a timeout, it looks like, as they're going to the far sideline to confer with Brent Newcomb.
4:45 left, 29-15. Hate to go through a whole season without saying what a great staff that Channel 3 and Jones Intercable put together again this year. Some great camera coverage. Russ Williams and all the folks, Mike and all the gang with a great show again this year. And thanks to Jones Channel 3.
My hat's off to the man who always has the game in the refrigerator, and there he is, Tim Ellersich, topside camera, Ice Station Zebra, another meritorious campaign. He's our point man. He's out there when it's freezing cold. What was it cold in Lancaster this morning or what? Good job, Timmy. And of course, Larry, the first lady of high school football in the Antelope Valley, the executive producer, Patricia Fregoso. She had to overcome some hurdles to get the equipment down here to COC this week, and I think all the parents of high school football who enjoy these broadcasts so much really owe Patricia Fregoso a tremendous debt of gratitude.
Thanks to all the folks at Channel 3 for another great season.
She does sign the checks, right?
Yeah, very good, Brian. Reddick will take the ball and try to get the 4 on his own, and he does. Tremone Reddick with a big play down to the 42 of the Indians and a first down for AV.
Hey, seriously, though, Larry, remember when we went down with Bob to college of the, Orange Coast College in 1990. Here's the roll, this naked boot by Tremone Reddick, the big power and speed, first down. And Channel 2, Jim Hill's News took some of their highlights from Jones Intercable. He told me the next day, or a couple days later, the Raider game, how impressed he was with the technical merit of Mike Kosinski, Russ Williams, who's our guru in the truck, Lori Losi, everybody else, Todd Post. Haven't had a posterior shot of Todd on the sideline yet tonight.
Todd's not with us tonight.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
The Reddick will hand it off to Lewis. Lewis has got a big hold. And Germain across the 35 to the 34. Gain of 8 and a second down and 2. And clock will run with less than 4 minutes to go. And AV in control, 29-16, 29-15.
Let's face it, you can take the fork in Newhall Pass and stick it in the Indians now. This game is over. The 5, the 14, they've all converged. And it's been Lope's rush hour tonight here at College of the Canyons. And the second half, though, a terrific Hart team has given the Lopes pause, but the Lopes defense have made the plays, and now the offense is running out the clock.
2nd and 3. Reddick will give it off to Reiner. He will not get a first. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. Swihart with the stop, but the clock will continue to run.
Ever since the game with Mater Dei last year, Larry, these kids felt that their destiny was the CIF Championship game. And, of course, a lot of kids feel that way, but how often does a team deal with the expectations, belly up to the expectations, the way the Antelopes did this year? This has been one of the great high school football seasons ever in the Antelope Valley, and given the history, Larry, as you know, that is a mouthful.
And most of these kids will be back next year.
Yeah, by the way, they're all coming back next year.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, Chad Shrout's leaving, that's right. Here's a flag, looks like
a flag.
Delay penalty.
A delay call on the Lopes will back it up and make it a 3rd down and about 7 now with 2:50 left to go in the ball game.
All right, now, will KVL be the home of another winning football team with the Raiders? They play a little playoff bowl on Sunday against the Denver Broncos.
Well, what do you think?
Knowing the Raiders, they'll get you excited, and then they'll break your heart. So I'm going to take John Elway, old Festus out there Sunday, hobbling around on one leg.
You're going to take Festus, huh?
I'm going to take those Broncos. Boy, we had them dead and buried, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
0-4 back in September.
3rd down and 7. Reddick will pitch it to Lewis. Lewis going to throw it again. Nope, now he tucks it under his arm. Now he'll throw it. Gets it downfield. Wide open is Tony Walker. Touchdown. Wide open, Tony Walker. Lewis went to pass it, tucked it back under his arm, then passed it to the last second. Walker was standing by himself at the 10-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just power swept right out of the building. Jermaine Lewis having a 2-for-2 passing night. Tony Walker scored one on offense and scored one on defense.
Well, he almost crossed the line of scrimmage, and Walker by himself at the 15.
Tony, don't style. Come on.
He styles into the end zone. Shrout will try the extra point. High snap, gets it up anyway, and it's good. 2:41 left to go, and you're not too far off that 37-point mark you wanted there, Brian. 36 to 15 in favor of Antelope Valley. Let's go down to Bob McEwen on the field. Bob.
36 to 15, about 2:44 to go in the game here, Brian and Larry. Situation looks bleak here for the Hart Indians. On the other side, they're starting to celebrate over there. Championship is right around the corner. Take it away, Brian.
All right, thank you, Bob. Brian, go ahead. I'm going to put you on the spot a little early. Give me the Burger King player of the game up here.
Can we give it to George Fetters for a defensive scheme that throttled the supposedly inevitable, unstoppable, irresistible Hart offense?
You can do that.
5 turnovers. Obviously, part of the game plan was to take the football away forcibly from the Indians. They did that. They turned them into points. They took the body blow of a great 3rd quarter by Hart. Boy, Hart showed me something there in the 3rd quarter, where they came back and fought and just overmatched against an Antelope Valley team that, again, reminds us that speed kills. That's why they put those 55s. Maybe they ought to put the speed limit sign in red, not a Chad Shrout on the way home on the Antelope Valley Freeway tonight.
Shrout, another great game, too. Nelson is in the end zone. He'll take it from there. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 20-yard line. A familiar position for them tonight.
I would have to say that if we had to pick one guy, I think it would have to be Chad Shrout, because early in the game he played a great game. Every time you looked up, number 55 was doing something. So the Burger King player of the game, our great participating sponsor, Burger King Larry Ralston, goes to Chad Shrout, playing his last game as an Antelope.
McKeon dumps one off. DeLilio's got the ball to 30, down to the 40. DeLilio across 45, midfield 50, still on his feet, to the 40. Round up and brought down to 35 in AV territory. DeLilio's 4th catch, and a big gainer for the Hart Indians. 2:29 left to go in the ball game.
Rob, Steve McKeon's got to be over 300 yards passing now, I would think. He is over 300 yards tonight. Great night. Tough year for incumbents. His uncle didn't find it out, but I think he found it out.
McKeon from the shotgun again. Will dump it off to the other side this time. Incomplete. 10 at that time to Nelson at the 25. Now stop the clock with 2:16 in the 2nd and 10.
Chad Murphy trying for the interception, and I think somewhere right now, Chad Murphy, well, in a moment of silent reflection, will think about how he's dedicated this game to his late father, who's been his inspiration. We've read about that in the Daily News, and the Antelope Valley Press, and in the LA Times. And somewhere, got to be proud, Dad, of not number 31.
Take a moment out here a little while and highlight some of these seniors for this AV team. There are not many of them, but there are some names that have worked real hard for the last 3 years. DeLilio gets the catch again at the 25. Will go out of bounds at the 20.
Actually, they ought to change those letters to CFL out there. It kind of looks like a Canadian Football League game. Guys running all over the field. Receivers, 4 and 5 guys in the pattern.
2:07 left to go in the ball game.
Larry, it's not a coincidence that the biggest part of CIF is the word if. And if Antelope Valley didn't have such speed, and if they weren't so well coached, and if they didn't get 5 turnovers.
This could have turned out like last week.
That's right.
McKeon back to pass again. This time across the middle he goes for the end zone. Chopped off and cut away from Reddick. Meanwhile, the clock never started on that particular play.
Well, of course, if you can't get the spot, get the clock. Where's the clock operator? Behind the picket fence on the grassy knoll? Is that what's going on here?
Some of the seniors saying goodnight here for their last game for the Antelope Valley Lopes. Damon Williams, Chad Murphy, Jared Westberg, Ahmad Barami, Toby Semarenko, all playing great seasons. Caleb Smith, Luis Perez, Chad Shrout.
Brent Newcomb is wondering why time has stood still, because it's about the only thing that has stood still for AV tonight, because they've now run 2 plays without benefit of the clock. Time marching forward here. Now they're going to run off some time and probably move the ball 10 yards closer to the goal line.
Chris Collins, a senior as well, playing his last game. James Long, David Dilger, Michael Price, Chris Schrammel, I should say. All the rest of those folks will be back next year.
Isn't that a nice thought? Quartz Hill, Little Rock, Highland, et al.
McKeon back to pass again. Across the middle one more time he goes. Incomplete again. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Larry, we can't say enough about the preparation. We talked about it on the pregame show with Bob McEwen. The Antelope coaches spent almost 10 hours breaking down film, tendencies, going over scouting reports of the Hart. And other than the trips formation we're seeing them deploy in right now that they have hurt the Antelope Valley with, they've had an answer for just about everything tonight.
On a 3rd and 10, McKeon's going to put it up in the air again. Dumps it off short this time, and a catch at the 9-yard line, and that's real close to a 1st down. Iacenda with the catch, and that should be a 1st and goal to go. Now they're going to bring the measuring sticks over.
You know, Larry, I'd like to amend something I said before. I don't want the Lopes to go down to Anaheim and say we'll get the winner Saturday night. They ought to just go to Tampa and see if the Rams might be interested in scrimmaging.
I don't know what the line would be on that game, do you?
The line would be St. Louis, Missouri, I think.
Oh.
Their chain's coming over from the far side of the field, and they're getting ready to partay in the black and red of the Antelopes. And boy, what a job Lancaster showing up at COC tonight, and tremendous support that the Hart Indians have. There's your 1st down. Of course, they spotted the ball. It's the same side, Judge.
1st and 10, 1st and goal, I should say, from the 9-yard line now for the Indians with 1:50 left. Talk about the coaching staff having to run into Brent Newcomb at Buffalo Club today at lunchtime, and I walked by the coach. I said, well, he says, well, we're bringing it home tonight. Very short comment, and sure enough, he is. McKeon on a 1st and goal from the 9, looking to throw again. Down he goes. Chad Shrout wraps him up at the 20.
Well, there's the whopper again. Chad Shrout, that's his, 3rd or 4th sack tonight. 8 sacks for the Lopes defense.
Chad Shrout with his magic foot tonight, along with his defense, going out his last game with the Antelope Valley with a championship, a Division II CIF Championship. McKeon will roll out again. Shrout's all over him again. Dumps the ball off. Iacenda's got the ball at the 15, to the 10. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 11-yard line.
Well, when they suggested the Lopes are coming down here to kick assets and take names, they meant it literally, because the kicker has led the onslaught in Chad Shrout. Here's a little screen over to Iacenda. This young man still has another year to go as a senior. Boy, they probably can sell tickets to the Division I recruiters that'll watch him next year.
McKeon will try it again. He'll put it on the far side. There's Nelson, drops the ball. And Nelson gets leveled by Corey Oggs. 4th and goal.
232 yards passing here in the second half alone for Steve McKeon, and that's not his fault. That ball should have been caught out there by Nelson. 334 yards passing, and there's the score. I think a lot of people in the Newhall area, the Santa Clarita Valley, expected. They just didn't expect it juxtaposed like that.
It's in the wrong column. The low snap, McKeon will have to go pick it up, throws the ball to the far side, incomplete, and again dropped by McCabe, and that'll turn the ball over to Antelope Valley. It'll take a couple snaps, and that will be the Division II championship going to Antelope Valley High School. Brent Newcomb and the gang.
There's that ground ball snap again. Steve McKeon throws the duck out. I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with the Hart's quarterback. The way he's going to be awfully sore when he wakes up in the morning, but he has nothing to be ashamed of in terms of the second half that he played tonight, Larry.
Chad Shrout coming off the field. Hugs and high fives from the coaching staff.
Jared Westberg is over there.
Westberg, another senior, saying goodbye in a big way.
You know, all week the Lopes greeted one another in going to classes on the practice field. I'm a champ, you're a champ, I'm a champ, you're a champ. And they were true to their word.
Reddick will take the snap, and down he goes. And they'll have to take one more.
Well, Larry, now Frank Roberts and the city council have to deliver. It's time to have some type of a civic celebration for these sons of Lancaster who have honored our community with this CIF championship. I know they had a parade in 1988 and a nice ring ceremony, and I think they should do no less for this group. If anything, that 88 team kind of snuck up on people. This team was expected. Everybody was loaded for bear for the Lopes, and they still got to their moment in the sun.
And it's celebration time after 2 early losses in the preseason. Antelope Valley burns everybody on their way to the Division II championship. They beat Hart by a score of 36-15. Across the way, you can see the crowd having a good time. The cheerleaders, players, all on the field, and it really wasn't close. 29-0 at halftime, ends up by a score of 36-15. Brian Golden, it's been a pleasure working with you tonight. Thank you for covering last week, and it's been a heck of a season. Glad you can end it with us.
Thanks for calling, Larry. It's always fun to work with you, and it's fun to think that most of these guys come back next year.
We're gonna do this again, I bet. I wouldn't be doubting.
I wouldn't bet against them.
On the radio side, we're gonna take a break, get some commercials. We'll come back with final stats and scoring for you. On the television side, we'll keep it right here. So right now, we'll take that break. And TV, we'll wait to see if Bob McEwen can grab a interview or two on his A1 Trophy Player of the game. It's gonna take Bob a while to capture obviously a very jubilant Antelope Valley High School player. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it was Chad Shrout.
The handshake line going on right now.
Let's go down the field, and Bob McEwen's got somebody. Bob.
Our A1 trophy pick tonight here is Tony Walker, only a sophomore. Tony, you played the game of your life tonight.
Thanks, sir. We played real well.
You got the first touchdown. Did you think when you got in there and you ran the score up to 10-0 at that time that you guys had this ball game?
Yes, sir. They played good, but our defense is just great.
Speaking of defense, you played center field for the defense. You picked off an interception, knocked down several ones, and also saved a long touchdown run on their part.
Yes, sir. We did real well. Like, our defenses, everybody be downing us and stuff, but we stepped up really big tonight.
How does it feel knowing you and Jermaine and all the other guys are coming back next year?
We're going to be great again. Hopefully, we'll win the championship again.
Tony, congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Tony Walker, A1 trophy pick. You could give the trophy to the entire football team from AV High and the coaching staff. Again, a total blowout down here at College of the Canyons. The AV High Antelopes are the CIF champions. And so now for Brian and Larry, and of course Henry back at home, again, our sympathies are with you tonight. And all the gang here at Jones Intercable, and especially you, Ken McGowan, for giving these trophies out for 20 years now. I'm Bob McEwen saying good night from College of the Canyons, and the Lopes are the champs once again.